Ruslan.
I went from death to life. Now there's no reason to be stressing like he did it. It's time to testify. Let's first get the verse and the essence right. You get it? Death to life. Death to life. He did it. Death to life. Let's first get the verse and the essence right. You get it? Apply pressure, but I'm not trying to force it. Down bad before me and mine's courtship. Circling the sun, that's a different type of orbit. Then I fell on my face, but it must have been the Lord's gift. After that, I went from death to life. Only one time he ever said to test him right. The best replies to testify. He conquered it all. He conquered my fall and his presence. Why? I went from death to life. Now there's no reason to be stressing like he did it. It's time to testify. Let's first get the verse and the essence right. You get it? Death to life. Death to life. He did it. Death to life. Let's first get the verse and the essence right. You get it? John 5:24 and it reads, I tell you the truth, whoever listens and believes in God who sent Christ will have eternal life. No condemnation, they cross from death to life. No life to death, no walking dead. I'd rather walk the talk and shine my light instead. Who could ideate the darkest Friday would have transformed to this new life inside me? Cause Sunday came, I went from death to life. Now there's no reason to be stressing like he did it. It's time to testify. Let's first get the verse and the essence right. You get it? I went from death to life. Now there's no reason to be stressing like he did it. It's time to testify. Let's first get the verse and the essence right. You get it? Death to life. To life. To life. To life. To life. Death to life. To life. To life. Death to life. Death to life. 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 Death to life. To life.
We are live! Hey, yo, before you come in, take your shoes off. Get your super chats ready. Your questions are getting answered live. But first, shout out to the patrons and the channel members. Check it out. Never miss the after party again. Sign up right now on Patreon for as little as $5 a month and access every replay. Put it in the budget. I'm telling you, we are essential. Y'all already know what time it is. Welcome to the after party with Ruslan.
Ruslan.
Yo, we are live. I hit the wrong button, guys. I had a whole thing.
We had a plan.
Had a whole thing.
Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face.
If you're
How's
just
my Mike
tuning
Tyson
in,
impression?
oh yeah, look at that DM. If you're just tuning in, let me know where you're watching this from.
Rage.
So angry. Drop your location in the chat. Let me know where you're watching this at. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Early stream today. Just dropped a New Age versus Christian woman debate link in the Patreon video topic chat. In the Patreon video topic chat. You know what that is, Zach?
Yeah.
Someone
If you
said-
didn't put timestamps and you dropped an hour and 45-minute
Yeah, please don't do
debate,
that.
then I'm not opening it.
Please don't do that. Drop timestamp. Shout out to
There you go.
Greece is in the house. Honolulu, New Zealand. It's the fun part about doing these earlier streams.
That's the most Greek name ever.
Is what's the question?
I can't even.
Oh, Kostas Greece.
Their name looks like something that will pop up in Logos Bible study when you try to get to the original language.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love your name, by the way.
Georgia. Shout out to Jay Dunlap. He said he's 23 years old today. Happy birthday.
Wow.
Happy birthday. First time watching from South Africa. South Africa's in the house. Put a timestamp. She put a timestamp, so let's find it.
All right, which thing?
In the Discord.
Yeah, but which she said in there what it was.
Oh, you want me to roll it back?
Yeah, roll it back.
She said, just dropped the New Age versus Christian women debate link in the Patreon video topic chat.
Patreon, not the Discord.
Read it right the first time. Read it right the first time.
Boom. Oh, it's Jubilee.
Jubilee be tripping.
One grounded in
Pause it.
scripture.
Pause it.
Oh no, it's not Jubilee.
Oh, it's not Jubilee. They're copying Jubilee now?
That's crazy.
Yo, they just straight jacked Jubilee's entire thumbnail.
Are we late? Should we be doing this? They only have 40,000 subs.
Let me see something real quick. I think I know.
Some people in here.
Yeah, I think
Is Melissa Doherty in here?
No. I know. Yeah, I did an event with her. Johanna.
Is she New Age or is she Christian?
No, she's Christian. She's solid. Yeah, Johanna's in this. That's cool. Okay, you want to cue that up for me?
Got it.
Shout out to our mod, Kelly P. Shout out to UK in the house. Unknown, you got to change your name. We want you to be known here. All right? We want you to be known.
Oh, Kalia Honey is in this video.
You know who that is? Who's
She's
Kalia?
this person. The lady that dropped the thing. Our Patreon person is in the
Kalia,
video.
you're in the video?
She says, I was in the New Age versus Christian women debate.
Hey.
See if I cooked.
So you know the homegirl, Johanna? Yeah? She's in the thumbnail. She's
Fine.
in the thumbnail. Okay. What should we open with?
Yeah, 9:40. Sorry, let me just get this queued up so that we don't have to dig for it later.
We have new music coming out, Celeste. Thank you for asking. Celeste, I need you at the Bless God Summit 2026. Okay, I was talking to Kelly P. Need both of you guys there. We got to figure it out. We can't have. I don't think we had any mods represented.
Yeah, what's up with that?
The last Bless
We
God
will
Summit.
even create a special mods sticker that you can put on your tag.
I like it.
It'll say mods.
All right. Norway's in the house. Gosh, this is cool, man. There's a lot of international people. All right, let's jump into this Abba and Preach video. So, Majay, you want to start working on the Abba and Preach thumbnail? It's in the stream topics. That way we could just finish and drop as we go.
In the Filioque.
In the Filioque.
There's another, Chris is working on another Father Josiah clip that we can also use.
Oh, that's right. I'll be there next year. Let's go, Blaine.
Where did my beautiful remote go?
Oh, gosh. Zach losing stuff.
It's right here. It's right here.
You ready?
It was all jokes. Yeah.
All right. I gotta drop a response to
Yeah,
Abba and Preach. What?
You're not recording.
I'm not recording.
Saves your life.
All right. Gotta drop a response to this Abba and Preach. Celibate, so he goes to their video. Okay. If you guys don't know, I'm personally a fan of Abba and Preach. I like their takes. I think they are reasonable. But we'll see if I still feel this way at the end of this video. So this is a lady. I think this lady's on TikTok. She opens up about being celibate and basically getting ghosted.
Uh-oh.
Okay, and Abba and Preach have some interesting takes here. Let's jump right into it. Go ahead.
Told a guy that I was waiting till marriage. It was our 5th date. We were trying to decide if we wanted to be exclusive or not, expectations and what that would look like. And we talked about my waiting for marriage for about an hour. And he had a lot of
Red flag.
Yeah, red flag. That should just be like awesome. And then keep it pushing. An
Red flag.
hour.
He had a bunch of questions. He had a bunch of questions. Listen, that's all you need to know.
He's like,
Okay, wait, so explain this.
What do you mean by waiting and then for marriage? You want to get married or okay.
Okay, so are you saying that we can't?
Or, yeah.
There's an inappropriate Kendrick Lamar song I'm thinking about that I'm not gonna say. That I'm not gonna say right now.
He's like, is it like a Mormon thing? Can we do the?
Do you have special underwear?
questions. And I was like trying to answer them to the best of my ability and explain where I'm coming from and why it's important to me. He was really nice about it, like just a gentleman, just wanting to understand. And I told him, I know that this is a lot to take in, and I want you to be able to make the best decision for you. So please, take a couple days. Don't think about my emotions. Just think about what you need in a relationship, and give me a call back in a couple days. I've been waiting for the phone call all day, and I'm like I know that it'll be good either way. Like, this is just how it is. Like, if I'm gonna choose to set myself apart in Christ, then this is what dating looks like. But
pause it. So first props to her.
Come on.
For setting herself up.
Come on, sis.
In Christ. That is amazing. So we gotta give her props where her props are due.
Yep.
But there's a couple things that were left out. Now, I'm not saying that I know for certain, but there's a couple things that are left out that we have to come back to with regards to this conversation that I wouldn't say are red flags on her part, but are definitely yellow flags.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, red light, yellow light. Slow your roll.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to come back to those.
All right, I'm
going to
excited.
come back to those. Okay. But go ahead and play the rest of this because they have an interesting take here. Go ahead.
It just feels kind of bad to be waiting for his phone call, like waiting to see, like, am I worth dating if I don't have sex? And I'm like, he hasn't called yet, and it's 8 p.m. And so I'm like, well, maybe he's not calling because he'll show up to my place with flowers and tell me that that's not what he was interested
Preach.
Oh man, 8 p.m. It's raining outside. He's not showing up with flowers in person.
Flowers.
in
God,
me.
oh
And
my God, and that's your error right there. I was with you, and then that's your having those expectations and fantasy. That's what's gonna break you. That's what's gonna break your heart. If you think that you should save yourself for the right one, that's on you, boo boo. And if he doesn't want that, it's more about him than you. It's not your word. It's him. That did not align with what he wants. But having he's gonna show up in flowers and. It might happen, and it's great if it happens. But if it doesn't, the deception is going to be grand. But yeah,
tell me that that's not why he was interested in me, and that he wants to be in a relationship with me either way, and that I'm worth it. But is that unrealistic? I don't know. I think I just
If he hasn't called you yet,
Yeah. It's 8 p.m.
probably unrealistic. He's going to show up with flowers.
Yeah, that's for sure unrealistic.
I feel bad. Go ahead.
just wish that I was worth a big gesture, because right now I don't even know if I'm worth a phone call. And it hurts a little bit. But like either way, I'll be fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna come back to their thoughts. So, is there? Did you spot? I spy with my little eye a red flag or a yellow flag. Do you spot it?
I spot like 4 yellow flags.
Okay, what's the obvious one? She's having. There's a couple obvious ones, but let me see if you spot one because I got 2 off the top of my head.
2 off the top of my head. Is if you were dating within a Christian circle, if you want to date as a Christian, we're called to be equally yoked. So you should only be dating Christians, in which the conversation of waiting until marriage should kind of be a given and definitely addressed on the first date.
Exactly. So either
Yeah.
she's dating outside of a healthy pool, which then you're pursuing people you're not equally yoked to. You're not equally. And I'm not trying to be harsh on this young lady because maybe her circumstances are tough. Maybe she's in a small town. Maybe she's not in a great church. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right. This is why I don't mean to be like go to young adults group for stuff like this, but this is, a lot of people end up meeting their spouses in young adults ministries. So one,
Yeah.
it seems like she's dating a non-Christian.
Yes.
So that's already a red flag to me.
Mm-hmm.
A yellow flag at the least, probably a red flag. Why are you dating a non-Christian?
Yes.
And why is this? And what? So that's the first one. 2, why is this not talked about till the 5th date?
Mm-hmm.
So this is me being big bro. Like why? If she was my little sister and she was following Jesus,
Yeah.
if she was a girl who was in our young adults ministry and she was telling me this story, I say, well, why are you going on dates with a non-Christian? He clearly has different values than you.
Hello.
2, why are you waiting until the 5th date to communicate this? Because if you're dating a Christian, this should already be presupposed.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if it's not presupposed, why are you waiting till the 5th date to explain to him your faith and your values?
Because she wanted to charm him.
Somebody said missionary dating in a chat.
Yeah, she wanted a missionary date and she wanted to charm him into being like, she's worth it. She even said it in the video. I wish I was big. I was worth a big enough gesture.
Yeah. And so now we want people who are spiritually blind to see realities from a spiritual perspective, but they can't see.
Come on.
This is like being on a New York subway and a blind person bumping into you. And it's crowded and there's a bunch of people around. Someone that's blind bumps into you and you're mad at them for bumping into you.
Yeah.
You're on a crowded New York subway and a blind person bumps into you. They're spiritually blind. They don't see the value of what you're describing.
Come on, somebody.
Which we're going to get into more with some of Preach's and Abba's commentary here and some of the comments that were left. And so, yeah, I'm not saying she's positioning herself this way, so I'm trying to be delicate because she might see this video. But to be fair, sis, you put this out into the world. You threw this on social media, right? And so now it's content because you wanted it to be content. This isn't your private life. You made this content.
That's another lesson.
Huh?
So that's another lesson. That's
That's
another
another
possibly
lesson.
yellow flag. Even.
Yeah. So, yeah, and you kind of make content out of this. But that's neither here nor there. So, yeah, I think she's not a victim in this.
Yeah.
She's not a victim. And so you want this gesture when in reality, should you have even been in this situation to begin with? And if you are talking to a Christian dude, how do you avoid this type of Christian dude?
Yeah.
Where did you meet this dude?
Yeah.
If he's claiming to be Christian, but he's trying to smash, that's incongruent. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the second half of this is some of their commentary that I want to unpack.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's going to restrict the people that are going to be able to accept that. But I mean, you don't want those people according to your faith. That's not what you're really looking for. Rejection stings. It does. Even if those is because of those barriers and those barriers are set by you. When it's like, oh yeah, it's a no for me. That's yeah. No. It's still it's a possibility that stings. Because it's more about him, not in a bad way. Just like, oh, it's about him. That rejection is about him. He does not align with what you want. Move on. It might be harder to find your match and find someone that's gonna align with that. Do you have to change your faith or how you see this because of that? That's how you feel. But I gotta be real with you. It might be a little bit harder. But I'm trying to be nice here.
So Preach is actually being very delicate.
Yeah.
But we know that Preach and Abba think this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like it's cool for them.
Yeah.
It's cool for you if you want to wait until marriage, but they from their worldview, because they're not followers of Jesus, this is ridiculous. Right?
Yeah.
So he's trying to be delicate, and then he kind of shows his hand a little bit more. Go ahead.
It's gonna be hard as fuck.
I don't think it's
Okay, hold
necessarily.
on, pause it. Sorry, chat. Sorry if you got littles. My bad.
Reveals his
Explicit.
My bad.
Explicit.
It's going to be hard as F. Now, does it have to be hard as F?
I don't think so. I mean,
Here's the thing. And maybe, again, I will concede, I can see this over and over. Maybe it's selection bias on my part. We're near two booming young adults groups.
come on, somebody.
Both within a 15-minute driving distance of me. North Coast Young Adults, the J, and the Young Adults group at Rhythm, YA. Both Young Adults group have plenty of 18 to 30-year-old single people. Plenty of good-looking guys, good-looking gals that love Jesus, are stable, working careers, or if they're not stable and they have trauma, they're working through their trauma,
Come on.
right? There's at least 100 people in each group, probably 200, 300 at the North Coast one.
They even have singles community groups.
They even have singles communities, but I'm not even talking about singles community group. I'm just talking like you're a young adult.
Yeah.
You're trying to enter your, you're trying to get married.
Yeah.
Here's somewhere obvious you can hang out with people, or maybe they're not going to be like all the way on fire for the Lord, but at least they're closer. So does it have to be hard? Well, yeah, if you're dating people at bars and you're hooking up on random apps, yes, that is going to be hard as F, as Preach pointed out.
Yeah.
But does it have to be hard? Not if your community and your circle of people is different.
Yeah. No, I can preach.
Okay, go ahead.
To be more difficult. I think it just means that you have to search appropriately, right?
It's a challenge.
Shout
Search
out
appropriately.
Shout out
Come
to
on.
Abba.
This man said you're in the wrong spaces.
You're in the wrong spaces.
Hello.
Go ahead.
So it's one of those situations where it's like if you want to,
You gotta go on Christian mingle.
you want to meet a
Yes!
Jewish boy.
Yes. Yes. Stop dating people that don't share your values.
Come on.
Why would you date someone that doesn't share your values? They're not only do they not value what you value, but they're by proxy not going to value you. This isn't that deep. This ain't rocket science, fam. It's like, hey man, I went to an all-you-can-eat hometown buffet, and I was shocked that I couldn't find anyone that valued fitness.
That's good.
Because you're the all-you-can-eat hometown buffet. It's not even just the buffet. It's the all-you-can-eat hometown buffet. It's the bot. What is it? Did they change the name? Like, oh gosh, what did they change the name to? Something else. So like the food quality isn't even good. It's not like you're like at a sushi buffet or at a teriyaki buffet. You're at a hometown buffet. It's like literally the worst of the worst. And you're like, I wonder why no one here is in great shape. I wonder why no one here is within a healthy BMI. Where are you right now?
Come on.
They don't value what you value, so therefore, they're not going to value you.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this is what that young lady is doing. I'm just saying this is my common sense brain.
Yeah, if we had to read between the lines.
If we have to read between the lines. Okay, go ahead.
Might have to date a Jewish boy. You know,
Jewish mingle.
I think it makes no sense to date someone who's not Jewish and then, you know,
Expect that
you
from
get
them?
what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, you know, I'd have to ask, like, you know, what's this guy's faith level? You know,
Right.
is he anywhere near you? I think 5 dates to spring that on somebody is a bit long. I think we should probably mention that pretty early on.
I mean, this man, I'm glad we're all on the same page here.
We're all on the same page here. Go ahead.
Especially if it's something that's important to you. Most people I've known who were into that tell you on the first or second date.
Come on.
Especially when things about faith happen, you know, like, you
That's
know, for me,
right.
marriage is really important.
Yes.
I want to wait till marriage.
Yes.
5 dates a bit much, in my opinion.
Come on.
Come on,
He's cooking.
buddy. Okay, I'm glad we're not the crazy ones.
Yeah, well, we're the crazy Christian guys that are like, go ahead.
5 days is a bit much.
Especially if you're talking in between, like that should have come up a while back.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna get on you too much for that.
Well, she's
Hold on. Shout out to Kelly P. A woman said this, so you can't say I'm being sexist. Can't say I'm being sexist. One of our woman mods. She's
on.
married with kids. God bless her. She said she's playing with fire. The one, a black woman said that. So don't come for me, trying to cancel me. A black woman said you're playing with fire.
Yeah, hello.
Go ahead.
I can't.
super young, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relatively.
Experience.
Also, the whole thing about sex, like she said,
Is Golden Corral now.
Ooh, yeah, that's a bad
Don't
one.
be going to Golden Corral wondering why there's no one in there with abs.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
It's all senior citizens and people who are diabetic.
Oh, man.
Why? You're at a Golden Corral on a Tuesday afternoon for lunch.
Yeah, they don't care about quality food. They just care about how much food they can get on their plate.
one thing is like, am I not worth waiting for? It's not about that for everyone. Some people, they're impatient. They just want to have sex. Some people have bad intentions. They just want to sleep with you and disappear. But also for some folks, it's like the idea of waiting till marriage is like, what if we're sexually incompatible and now we're till death do us part? For some folks, they don't want to take that risk.
So this is where I would disagree. And interestingly enough, Abba corrects himself right after. So the whole sexually incompatible thing, I think, is just complete nonsense. Like, first of all, you can only know you're not sexually incompatible if you're looking at a lot of porn or if you've been with a lot of people.
Come on.
Normal people, because I say this is normal.
Yeah.
This is what actually normal is you find someone and you build compatibility with them. You build a rhythm with them. You figure each other. You learn what you like in intimacy.
Come on.
So this whole idea of like incompatible is like you've either just warped your brain with porn or you've warped your brain with hookup culture. Go ahead.
And you might be like, but you're overblowing it. I'm telling you right now, there's plenty of people who are married to somebody and they have zero sexual chemistry. And for some folks, it's a little bit important to have that kind of.
You work on that. If you work on that. You work that out.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't just give up.
You don't just give up. It's like, I'm in this marriage and there's no compatibility, so I'm gonna leave.
It's the whole point of marriage that you do it forever.
Till death do us part.
Yeah. So you're like, you gotta figure out everything. You gotta
What
figure out
about what about when you have kids in marriage and then you can't have any intimacy for 6, 8, 12, 15 weeks? What do you do then?
Yeah.
What do you do then? Oh, you don't got no compatibility. Or she just pushed out a human.
Hello.
She pushed out a human. There's all kinds of hormonal changes. There's all kinds of, who knows what's happening postpartum. She's working through stuff. She's not trying to, right? So what? Oh, there's no compatibility. Well, or she could have just had 3rd-degree lacerations on on the inside of her vagina. Okay.
You made me pass out.
Go ahead.
Intimacy that they really enjoy and they really like. Other folks, it's not the case. So I'm not just saying like, religious people have less fulfilling sex marriage. I think that's not true. I think a lot of them self-report that they are happier. But for
A lot of them self-report that they are happier.
Come
on. My man Ava paid attention to the data. In case you didn't know, the most sexually fulfilled people in marriage, yes, self-reported data. Fair enough. Maybe we're all lying. Maybe we're all just lying and making it up. But the data is the data. Self-reported, the most sexually fulfilled people are practicing Christians who attend church regularly.
Come on.
So there's something there. So we're either liars or we're delusional. Or there's something to delaying gratification until you're in a one-man, one-woman marriage for one lifetime. Go ahead.
And pursuing each other forever.
And pursuing each other.
a lot of folks, they would like to have that kind of intimacy going in. For them, it's part of what's important. Yeah, and you made a comment before where she was like hoping for the guy to show up and do that big gesture or whatever. I get where she's come from. I think when you like somebody and things are going seemingly well, when there's like a period of no communication, you're not detached from it. So
Fast
you're
forward
like,
this is irrelevant. There's a little bit. There's a part. I'm gonna get to where Preach starts speaking. There's tons of sources on the data. Easy source you could start with is Google, Jimmy. I mean, you guys really want me to pull up the data? I thought this is fairly commonly known.
Well, now here we are.
No. Just play this part.
Okay. Chris, cut in the data.
They've come to really accept the fact that, like, oh, okay, this shit really did. But it's a standard. I'm not saying
that it's officially dead or anything like that. But there's a difference between, I think he wants to take more time to think about it or whatever. Then I really hope he brings flowers to my doorstep and say that everything is. That's a scenario. There's a difference between I hope he's okay and he needs more time. That's the scenario happening. And
scenario.
Sure.
Everyone's essentially what she's doing with this whole like bring me flowers. All she's really saying is, I'll be gonna come here and reassure me that you want me for me. Really saying what that is. I think she's up my dick. Right? Everyone can imagine whatever they want. Of course, Negro.
You don't wait for marriage.
I don't even wait to wait.
You don't wait to wait.
So they get into waiting for marriage. Now check this out.
I don't want to wait. When you want to have sex? Now. She said her last line was,
because right now I don't even know if I'm worth a phone call.
You're worth waiting for the man who values you in that sense and values your values, right? Value.
All right.
Value. Take that in. Just repeat it to yourself until it makes sense.
I value. I took her to Value Village. No, it ain't cow out there. It's not
value, and then you said, let me rhyme this shit up.
What you mean?
Like, why still waiting?
Okay, locked up like prison bars. Get you a granola bar. Okay, go back.
Don't ever do that shit again, bro.
All right, You're gonna meet someone.
So pick it up right here, Chris, please.
Who's going to share your values, and at that point, I think a lot of this stuff is going to make a lot more sense. It sounds like you guys just weren't aligned both on a faith standpoint and maybe also your intensity of faith or how much you would hear. Some people got certain levels of Christianity, others are not open to certain things.
I think this is where we would differ. If you're following Jesus and you're waving the banner of Christian, it should be presupposed that you're
either doing it right or doing it wrong.
It's either or.
Either hold to the filioque.
And I'm not saying that people stop. And I'm not saying there aren't Christians who may struggle. There aren't Christians that like fall head over heels in love and then struggle with purity after they start dating. They're moving towards marriage, but it's really hard. They didn't really think about boundaries. They didn't think about a fast-tracked engagement process, right? That aren't struggling with remaining celibate, right? But generally, if you're following Jesus, you've came to the conclusion that you are holding to these values.
Yeah.
So that's something that you have to establish with that person, especially if faith is important to you. Like I for the life of me, don't understand people who have like a very strong faith background and then start talking to people who don't share the same faith as them and then know it's a conflict. It's like, yo, sort that shit out.
Come on.
Crazy.
Because
yeah.
Go ahead.
They really think it's a norm. And that's what they
So he said they really think it's a norm. They really think it's a norm. So this is a good point. This is a good and a bad point by Preach here.
What they believe in is the truth, and it's a norm. And everybody should, like, it's common sense. They treat it like common sense. I was in a religion, I'm not, and when I speak to those people, still, again, they're talking to people that are outside of the religion, like, if it's just a normal, it's like, yeah, you're supposed to, that's just the standard. And you're like, but that's not my standard, that's yours. Yeah, but it's the good thing to do. I'm like, wait, you're treating this thing like it's universal law, their algorithm. Mm-hmm. And they're looking at their faith like it's a normal standard, like this their algorithm, because they're surrounded with that. And when they see someone that touches grass, they're like, why are you not aware of that? Yeah, you are in that algorithm. That is your standard of no eggs before marriage and stuff like that. That's not all the rest of us.
I don't know.
So here's where I would push back. So one, I would challenge preachers to say, why is it unreasonable to wait until marriage? Mm-hmm. He would say, well, because you need to find sexual chemistry. Well, because that's you know, we're different out here. Okay, cool. Now let's think about what has sexual liberation led to. Has it led to more fulfillment or less fulfillment? Has it led to more flourishing or less flourishing? Has it led to women feeling more confident and having less mental health issues or more mental health issues? Now, let's think through this for a second. So let's view Khan's views of ethics. What if everyone waited until marriage to be intimate? All of this hookup culture, all of this, we're friends with benefits, all of this, hey, I meet someone, a couple dates in, we smash, we may or may not be in a relationship. Now spread that out over half a decade. Now you're probably entering double digits of partners. And now what do we know? We know that the more partners you have, the harder it is pair bond once you get into a serious relationship. What does that mean? That means once you get into a serious relationship, you're going to be less likely to be sexually satisfied. So what would happen if everyone did just wait?
Yeah.
What would happen? Well, we would probably have way less kids outside of marriage. Strong correlation between fathers being in the household and kids' health. We would probably have way less STDs and STIs. The baby deletion rates would fall off a cliff. So I understand preaching saying, yeah, the rest of us are out here But y'all are crazy. It's like, I understand how preposterous it sounds to say everyone should wait until marriage, even if you're not a Christian. It's actually in your best interest, which, by the way, most of God's ways are in your best interest. So would the world, this is something Preaching Abba and every non-Christian gets to wrestle with, would the world be a better place if everyone waited until marriage, until they were intimate? It's a very basic question.
Yeah.
Sex is great. Sex is a beautiful thing. Sex is intended to bond you. Sex helps with mitigating some of the day-to-day stress of what it's like to have a family and raise kids and work a job and all those sorts of stuff. So there's a lot of utility to sex. It's amazing. It's the way we usher in human life into the world. It's it's what leads. By the way, not all other species usher in additional species through intimacy and pleasure. Sometimes they just be laying eggs and bouncing, and you know what I mean? So we're wired in such a way where it's one of the most amazing things, but it's also a dangerous thing. And so would the world be better if everyone adhered to this value? I think absolutely. I think anyone that's reasonable would say yes. It's reasonable to say the world would be better. Now, is it hard? Yeah, it's hard. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is hard. It is hard. It is countercultural, but many things that are countercultural end up being correct.
Come on, somebody.
Right? There's a lot of things that when the smartphone came out, people thought it was the coolest thing ever, handing their kids iPads and tablets and devices. Now what do we discover? Oh, this stuff's actually wildly terrible for your brain.
Hello.
So now the countercultural position is actually the position of all the people who had the devices that didn't give them to the people that designed the devices don't give them to their kids.
Come on.
So the countercultural position to the device is actually the correct one.
True.
There's all kinds of stuff. I could give you example after example after example. Hey, how about the example of strength training? That sounds insane. I'm going to put my body through vigorous exercise and tear my muscles apart and feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that I could become stronger and live longer. That sounds counterintuitive. And yet all the data suggests that people who strength train end up having better quality of life and longer life. Right? And so I could give you food. Go back to our Golden Corral example. Yeah. Fast food. Right? Yeah. Hey, it's better to cook your food, to meal prep your food, to eat whole foods. But man, it's so convenient. The chips are so convenient. The fast food is so convenient. Yes, it's countercultural, but it's not unreasonable. It's not unreasonable to say, hey, you probably should avoid fast food. You probably should avoid processed food. So that's the thing, is often the countercultural thing that seems unreasonable ends up being the thing that's correct. And I think this would be no different with this specific situation. So I wanted to point out one of the comments they pinned, which I thought was great. Someone said, long story short, she found out the guy only wanted her for sex and wasn't serious about getting to know her as a person. The end. Now, their response was pretty funny. It says, is there no middle ground between not wanting to wait till marriage and wanting for someone for just sex? Her waiting till marriage is correct and must be respected, but him wanting to make love to his partner before the 3-year mark is wrong and must not be respected. He must compromise. She must not. Maybe it's not that I wanted her just for sex. He realized they were incompatible. No clue why there has to be a villain in every situation. Yeah, I don't think there has to be a quote unquote villain. I think everybody's wrong in this situation. But I think this idea that, I want to have sex on the 3rd date or on the 5th date or at 5 months or at 6 months in a relationship. Again, what does that lead to? That leads to more people with more body counts, and more body counts leads to less pleasure and higher rates of all the things we don't like about society, STDs, STIs, kids out of wedlock, right? All these things. And so it's like, to act like this is some unreasonable standard that God has for us, I think it's silly. I think it's really silly.
I agree.
And I think this is good. I'm seeing if somebody respond. Subscribe for making an experience. Click here. Conversation exclusive is a little bit too late. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I want to hear from you guys though. Like, why is this unreasonable? And do you guys see that, perhaps she went a little too deep into the situation without properly thinking it through? I would love to hear from you guys. And again, shout out to Abba Preach. I think they had some really interesting take. I think they had a really interesting take on this. Is a really interesting conversation. I'm glad that these conversations are happening. And I'm glad that these conversations are happening on secular platforms. For those of you Christians that want to do all this missionary dating and I don't want to meet anybody in church because I want a bad boy or whatever weird motives are underneath there, right? Like, I don't want to date a Christian man because Christian men are fill in the blank.
Yep.
Right? What is that? Like, let's unpack that. Let's get to the root of that, because I think that will, like Kelly P, our black woman moderator said, will lead you to be playing with fire.
Yeah.
You're playing with fire, and then you're wondering why. And so, and again, and this young lady, I'm sure she's sweet. I'm sure she's awesome. But you also made this content, and I think she probably wanted this conversation to be had. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. All right. Drop your location in the chat. Let me know where you're watching this at. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Means a lot. We got a couple more topics we're going to get to today. Kash Patel potentially dating a Mossad agent. This is crazy. We have Jay-Z's losing a legal filing for a paternity test. Pretty crazy stuff. We have ICE agents arrest MS-13 kingpin in Nebraska. I didn't know it was out here in Nebraska. What Trump and Obama were talking about at Jimmy Carter's funeral. And what else? A couple other things here. So again, just tuning in, just let me know where you're watching this from. I would love to hear from you guys. Someone said, are you looking forward to the Clips? I don't know if I'm looking forward to the Clips album. I'm definitely going to check it out. I told Malice I would check it out. Me and Malice been friendly from when he was really deep in the Christian music scene. And so we still text a little bit. Not text, excuse me, DM. I don't want to sound like I'm exaggerating. But yeah, so yes, I am checking it out. Bless God Summit 2026 mods. Map it out on your calendar. We will figure out a way to make sure that you get some priority on this stuff. So if you aren't going to, if you haven't yet, plan, save the dates, March 5th and 7th. But everybody should be at this thing. We got Wes Huff, KB, Southside Rabbi, Amin, Trizzle Man Fitness. What do you meme? Dustin Savella. It's going to be an amazing time. Did you see Tommy G's video on Kenneth Copeland? I have not seen it.
That's the one that was the ad for the movie.
Yeah, the ad for the movie. Yep. Up Huntsville, Alabama. Appreciate Huntsville, Alabama being in the house. Looking forward to the next guy. Summit. I'm praying that myself and my wife will make it. Yeah, Christian. So if you could, I would get your tickets now and start planning to make it. Right? Start budgeting now. Start planning to make it. I think you can get your tickets for $99 on a little payment plan. We put that together for you guys. So it's $94 tickets. So anyway, if you don't know, Bless God Summit is happening soon. Ever consider doing the Master My Business again? I'm trying to run a boutique label management company for artists. My goal is to help artists grow, but social media grind is kicking my butt. Prince, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we're just going to rename that channel to Godly Ambition.
Look-y.
It's tough. It's it's hard to prioritize that sort of stuff, if I'm honest with you. Kelly P said, gotta go later, y'all. Appreciate you, Kelly P, for being here to safely moderate. Make sure I didn't say anything crazy. No, I'm just joking. Kelly P is great. She sends us some of the dopest stories that we have.
It's a fact.
All right, here we go. Is Kash Patel dating a Mossad agent? My man Andrew Schultz unloaded a clip on this whole thing. If you guys didn't know, Kash Patel, leader of the FBI, promised everybody we would have these Epstein files. Now it is being alleged that he may or may not be dating a Mossad agent. Now, why is this important? He went on Joe Rogan. He claimed that these things were going to be released. The Epstein files were going to be released. They were not released. And apparently they don't exist. Apparently all these people who were underage were being trafficked to an island for nobody.
Yeah.
And they never had any of these files. The files were empty, and or there wasn't anything sufficient in there besides kitty corn. So he's now getting dragged. And this is a contributor on Breaking Points, which I'm kind of questionable. Breaking Points is, objective nature and anything around Israel. But I think this is an interesting thing because the Mossad connection to Epstein, I want to say it's fairly documented.
And Mossad is the Israel intelligence?
Israel. So we have our CIA. This is their Mossad.
Okay, cool.
And listen, as an intelligence agency for them, they do some amazing work in the best interest of Israel.
Yeah.
Right? So why is this important? Well, the theory with Epstein is that he was using blackmail. That was the way he was making money through these high-profile people that were going on his island, and he was going to blackmail them with all these tapes. Now, they got the tapes, but they can't identify the people on the tapes. How does that work? Can't identify all the digital forensics you have. You can't tell me. You don't got to release the tapes. Just tell us who was on the tapes.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, Andrew Schultz was roasting his dude, and he said, cockeye Kash Patel was looking at all the Epstein documents in double vision.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was going in on this dude on their what's it called episode, their flagrant episode that I started. Not a full endorsement because there's definitely some profanity on there. But let's jump into this video. So this is them. This is them getting into it. Go ahead.
Is the director of the FBI caught up in an Israeli honeypot operation? All right, here's the context. Quote, some social media users have wondered whether the FBI and the U.S. Justice Department's refusal to release the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients could have something to do with Alexis Wilkins, the 26-year-old girlfriend of 45-year-old FBI director.
21-year age difference screams Mossad. I'm sorry. That seems like intelligence issue right there.
Some social media sources have wondered whether the FBI and the U.S. Justice Department refusal to release the list of Jeffrey Epstein clients could have something to do with Alexis Wilkins, the 26-year-old girlfriend. So yeah, that's a big age gap.
It's not nothing.
You had an interesting point.
Yeah, I was like, I think she fell in love. She didn't fall in love with 45-year-old Kash Patel. She fell in love with FBI director Kash Patel.
Hell, this is what people online are pointing to, the fact that Patel's girlfriend, Alexis Wilkins, works for PragerU.
Oh, no.
What'd you do?
Hit the volume booster instead of that.
Refusal to release the list of FBI director Kash Patel. This is what people online are pointing to, the fact that Patel's girlfriend, Alexis Wilkins, works for PragerU, which is...
Okay.
So PragerU, that's Dennis Prager's organization.
Mm-hmm.
What is her, I can't read that. What does that say? It says...
CEO of Prager, oh no.
She can't be CEO of PragerU. Dennis Prager would be CEO.
I don't know.
No,
she works...
hold on, go back. I guess she is the CEO.
No. This is a different person.
Oh, Marissa Streit. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Marissa Streit is a CEO. Okay, now go down. What does that say underneath her? PragerU is the most influential organization in the world that promotes American values, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
a media company that supposedly espouses American values, except for the fact that it is run by a former Israeli military intelligence officer.
So he was on LinkedIn, and the CEO of PragerU is at a young age where she completed her primary education and served in military intelligence unit A200 of the IDF.
Okay. So here's the thing. I don't know if they know this, but everyone in Israel has to serve in the military.
Yeah.
Like if you don't serve in the military, you're frowned upon. 2 years minimum service, 18 to 20. Zoom back into that. Zoom back into that, please. And then it says where she completed her education and served in military intelligence. So does that mean she was a Mossad agent, or does that mean that she served in intelligence? And does everyone that serves in intelligence? I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Officer. Now, I did a bunch of digging, and unfortunately, there's actually not a lot of public information to go off of in terms of Alexis Wilkins' background. Now, what I was able to find is that her father worked for Gillette and that her mother was in aerospace and pharmaceuticals. It also says that they lived in England and Switzerland before settling in Fayetteville, Arkansas when she was 9. It also says that she attended College du Le Monde International School in Switzerland. Now, interestingly, ChatGPT is calling this a strange biographical gap in that she has no visible friend network or public high school college cohort interviews.
Okay, so I think this is a reach.
I think it's a reach.
I think it's a reach. I think this is breaking points with their like all Israel bad brain.
Israel bad, yeah. Because
just blame everything on them.
No visible friend network or public high school college cohort interviews, which is unusual for a public figure in entertainment. I disagree because I think you could do the same thing with me. I went to I have no public records after my freshman year.
Yeah.
And I work in entertainment.
And it would be like if you ever did anything for PragerU, or Daily Wire. Oh, Daily Wire is ran by a Jewish person, or PragerU is ran by Dennis Prager, and then the CEO served in the IDF military once upon a time, and she was in intelligence. Therefore, Zach is a Mossad asset.
Zach served with the IDF, the Irish Defense Forces.
Yeah, I think this is a bit of a reach on this dude's part.
Yeah, a little bit of a reach.
But let's see. Let's let him make his case.
Which they say is unusual for a public figure in entertainment, and that if a Mossad asset were inserted early in life, these gaps would be precisely where you would hide alternate history.
Pause
or
it. But
hidden-
is she even Israeli?
Yeah,
Wilkin? Is Wilkin a Jewish
Alexis Wilkins.
name? Alexis Wilkins?
She traveled abroad as a young person with.
I don't think
family.
Mossad is recruiting random Americans from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and churning them into Mossad agents.
Yeah,
I think a Mossad agent would be someone that is Israeli. Maybe they went to Israel on a birthright trip, decided to serve in the military for 2 years because they were, they sipped the Kool-Aid all the way on the Israel thing. And then that person becomes a Mossad. But this girl doesn't even seem to be Israeli.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Go ahead.
Their training. Dr. Simon Goddick says that Alexis Wilkins is nearly 20 years younger than Cash and also works for an NGO that's basically Israeli intelligence. That's PragerU that he's referring to.
Okay,
And he
so
says,
again, this is the guilty by association fallacy. This is because PragerU is a Mossad intelligence asset. We're now, and I got a theory on this, by the way, which I'm going to drop on you, and I want to see what you think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is the guilty by association. Younger sister works for an NGO that's basically Israeli intelligence. So is he saying he's making the claim that PragerU is Israeli intelligence?
Yeah. And that they're a non-government Israeli intelligence operation. And he says,
PragerU has been around for decades.
Yeah. And he says, and seriously, why would an attractive young woman date a not so attractive Indian American? Classic honeypot. I feel like you see that all through history, though.
You see it all through history.
Yeah.
But the age gap does seem sus. I'm not going to lie.
We can all agree the age gap is sus.
The age gap is sus.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's like a 45-year-old super attractive Jack guy.
Yeah.
You know?
He's no Andy Elliott.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
why would an attractive young woman date a not so attractive Indian American? Classic honeypot. I mean, I don't know. Who are we to really judge what people are attracted to and not attracted to? Anyway, I'm not sure what's true or what's not true, but evidently these are, quote, classic elements.
Also, why did that dude throw an Indian American like it was supposed to add to his unattractiveness?
Low key, huh?
Oh, that's dirty,
That's
yo.
messed up.
Good Lord.
Used in honeypot operations, soft power, ideological alignment, and sexual emotional entanglement. Let me know what you think.
Okay.
Is the
So
director of the-
I got a theory on this.
Okay.
Let's see what you think. Okay, so you know that the world of conspiracies used to be primarily a liberal leaning thing. Like when I got into it, it was like the Illuminati is in bed with George Bush and 9/11 was an inside job by conservatives against America. So when, was it Michael Moore did a documentary, Fahrenheit 9/11 or whatever it was called, it was mainly folks on the left that were like, yo, big government bad, conservatives bad. Why? Because it was the right that had power. And this is the Iraq and Afghanistan war.
Yeah.
Then what happened? After the left took power, which is Obama, he had 8 years of Obama.
Yeah.
What happened? All of the conspiracy theorists, the birther conspiracy, that entire world, Tea Party, Donald Trump, it all overlapped and it went to the right. Because now conspiracy theories were a right-wing thing.
So now
the COVID conspiracies, the birther conspiracy, the lizard, Democrats are lizard people conspiracy, the cabal conspiracy, all of that stuff was what? That was all right-wing conspiracies, usually against the left.
Yeah.
Now, Trump's back in power, this Jeffrey Epstein, we're going to see an uptick, and all of a sudden, the folks on the left are going to be conspiracy theorists.
And more
again.
right people being like, you just need to be a bit more charitable.
Yeah.
The whole world isn't against you. You just relax.
Yep.
The FBI has your best interest in heart.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's happening within MAGA right now. Like
know,
Ben
it is.
Shapiro's coming out and like, this is the official report. I don't think there's anything to see here.
Clearly
Which
says.
maybe we should react to that.
We should.
And so you have Ben Shapiro that's like
funny.
now advocating for the narrative. And to be fair to Ben, like he kind of did that with COVID. He did that with a couple things. So yeah, I think we're about to see
He flopped
everything.
on COVID?
Yeah, he was like pretty pro-vaccine.
Oh. Yeah, I thought he went from no vaccine to pro-vaccine. He went from pro-vaccine to anti-vax.
I don't even know he really went anti-vax because his wife's a doctor and he's like pro-big pharma. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like,
he's still pro-vaccine.
yes. As far as I know. Maybe don't quote me on that. Anyway, So I think this is all going to shift, and now we're going to get people on the left who all of a sudden start acknowledging the conspiracies and where the Epstein files, and you will have some people on the right that will be more or less connected to, how do I say this? That are okay to push against the status quo of the Trump people. Like the Trump folks who have now seemingly bowed a knee to whoever was behind, whatever was in those files.
Ooh.
You're going to have people on the right that are going to push back against that. I mean, so you already see it with Vinny and Valuetainment and Patrick Bet-David and all those guys that are like this. Patrick Bet-David said this is the biggest betrayal. So it'll be interesting to see.
Ooh.
And then will people flip and go back to the left?
Yeah.
You know, like if people start changing their political ideology because of this stuff, that'll be the real tell sign. So anyway, let me stop the recording.
Not nothing.
Okay. Ben Shapiro is being dragged for coming out with the more or less official narrative. He's co-signing the official narrative on the Epstein files.
Uh-oh.
Okay, play this.
We now have the answers. And the problem is this. People who never hedged their bets, people who never at any point suggested to you that they don't have data to back up the speculation, that the speculation was in and of itself the conclusion that if you speculate without evidence, that amounts to an actual conclusion to an investigation, they're going to be very upset today because it turns out that
So the speculation is the evidence, he's saying.
Yeah.
And so that it's not that there was anything there. The issue is that the government put out mixed signals. And after putting out mixed signals, they didn't own it. They didn't say, hey guys, you know what? We were mistaken. When I said files, what I really meant was just a file of stuff in there. And I misspoke when I said the Epstein list. Or hey, Cash Patel, when I got into this thing, I really thought there was more, but after being in the weeds on it, I discovered there isn't more, and this is how I came to those conclusions.
I came up with the how they rolled that out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying all you got to do is we looked at all the evidence, and there's nothing on Epstein. The previous administration failed to get all the evidence we properly need to find these people.
They could have blamed it on. They could have blamed it on the previous administration. I'm saying. They could have blamed it on they could have taken ownership. We thought it was this.
Yeah.
After going into this, we discovered that, yes, we were wrong and we speculated falsely and therefore there's nothing there. They could do that. Now, will that make it worse or better? I think the people will at least want more transparency.
You know what Alex Ramosi says? Only one person in the angry boat. So Kash Patel being like, it's a whole lot of nothing. If he went on Joe Rogan and was like, I'm pissed. We need to figure this out. I opened those files and there was nothing in there. What is going on?
That's good.
Then the American people were like, wow, oof, yeah, he's in charge.
What happened to the files?
Yeah.
Who took out all where's the client list?
If he started turning up.
We were told there was the client list and there's no client list.
Yeah, what if that's how they released?
Who stole it? It has to be the previous administration.
Yeah.
That's the way you play it.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
the DOJ and the FBI have concluded that Epstein didn't have a client list and died by suicide, according to a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios. Now, again,
pause it. I'm not even 100% that he, there's no way he could have self-deleted himself. In that, someone could have paid him a visit, and we're like, look, if you don't self-delete yourself, this is what's going to happen to your family, your loved ones, so on and so forth. It's in your best interest to delete yourself. So I'm not even saying that he didn't delete it. I think he could have deleted himself, but is there more? Who was on those logs to visit him? What information was passed on to him?
Now we're thinking.
Right? Go ahead.
Yeah.
does this put to bed like all inquiries? Of course not. People can continue to speculate as much as they want. And I think there's still open questions here regarding how did Epstein make his money? Right? That's a very serious open question. And the speculation for a long time was he made his money from blackmail. But the DOJ and the FBI, again...
Okay.
A little bit of a shock.
I hate to be this guy. But if the videos that Cash Patel and the lady both acknowledge of Kitty Corn, is it then speculation? The FBI is Cash Patel and the lady, what is it, the DOJ?
Yeah.
Both confirmed as Kitty Corn.
Yeah.
Right? So then if he has records of these people, whoever they are, however profile they are, maybe they're billionaires, maybe they're millionaires, maybe they're just freak weirdos that saved, $10,000 to go on this island. I don't know. But that's no longer speculation if there's video evidence of it.
Well, the Kitty Corn doesn't necessarily mean it was self-produced.
Sure. I'm saying
so
Epstein seems to have produced it.
That's what we say. There's no evidence.
Okay, let's just say it's security footage.
Okay. Well, in that case, it would be, but that's a big jump.
To say that he wasn't using that to extort people.
Oh no, I'm to say that the videos that they found, when they said the videos we found are kitty corn.
Yep.
That doesn't mean it's security footage. It doesn't mean it's self-produced. The videos they found, could those videos just be a bunch of downloads on his computer of kitty corn? That's what I'm saying. Like, is he just a regular? Are they trying to frame him as like a regular predator?
And that's all that was in Epstein files?
Yeah.
See, I was under the impression that those videos re-victimize people. Re-victimized were the people on the islands.
No,
those
you're
videos were from people on the islands, not just regular random stuff.
They did mention
on the phone.
that. No, so I think you have a point there. Yeah.
So again, go to what I said earlier. Well, then, why are we not sophisticated enough to track down who is on those videos committing SA against those underage minors?
Gotta say, if they were able to examine Michael Jackson's penis for moles based off of
that escalated quickly.
Then we can probably do the same with the Epstein videos.
Yo,
all I'm saying is
escalated quickly.
I was wildly blown away to find out that was a real thing that happened.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know how y'all got the clearance for that, but sounds like,
well, they got a warrant. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Run by people like Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are telling you. I'm not telling you. They're telling you. People who are members of the Trump administration, people you elected and put into these positions to get you the truth on this matter, are telling you that he didn't, in fact, he was not murdered. He did not keep a client list. And he did not blackmail powerful figures.
Okay.
Right,
so what was in that file? Why not just tell us what was in the file then?
You
don't have to tell us.
It was just a P&L.
Look, there was nothing. There was no client list. There was no this. Okay, so what was in there? What did you guys think you had?
It was just personal orders for beverages on his private jet. It was simply just a profit and loss statement for his private jet company.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That is the thing that they are saying, not I. They are saying this. If you're willing to throw that over and claim they're lying, then I'd like to see you present your evidence that they are in fact lying, because
that's not how this works, Ben. Ben, I love you, but that is not how it works. We don't have to produce the evidence. We want them to reveal the evidence they claim to have.
Yeah. We're not in the position. We're not the ones that raided
the
Epstein's
burden of proof isn't on me, bro.
I don't have the ability to go to Epstein's island and raid his mansion. Like, y'all already did that. The whole point is, and you can't campaign on like, we're releasing the Epstein files. Yeah. And then
I know Dan. I don't think that Dan Bongino is lying to me. I know Kash Patel a little bit. I don't think Kash Patel is lying to me. I don't think these people are lying to me. Which means that if somebody else continues to claim that they're lying, they ought to provide their evidence at this point. And now is the point at which the facts on the...
I don't think that anyone needs to produce anything. I think these
people
did media tours. Kash Patel did a media tour. He was on how many podcasts?
Yeah.
Saying, we're going to put this out. We need to put this out. This is going to come out. And now that he's in power, all of a sudden, there's nothing to see here, folks.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty bad, dude.
Ground have changed.
And let me just be fair to Ben. I mean, let me give Ben some unsolicited advice. You as an Israeli man,
is he Israeli?
Saying this, yes, he has a Jewish citizenship.
Okay.
Saying this sort of stuff
doesn't work.
It doesn't help, because there's an undertone of Mossad, Israel involved. And if all of a sudden the Jewish guy is seemingly caping for the official
Epstein,
narrative, it just looks weird. Like I don't think this is the take. It looks like he's lying.
Yeah.
Or worse, he's in on it somehow.
Okay. Here we go. Who is the radical conservative Christian Palestinian that Ben Shapiro brings on as the next Daily Wire host to do all of his talking heads for him?
I mean, I got a couple of names I'm not going to drop right now.
Come on, give them up. You always got names. Okay.
I know one person for sure.
Okay. And I think he has that person come on and be like,
do all the dirty work for him.
Yeah, do all the like, okay, look, Palestinian man, it is not going to be helpful coming from me as a Jewish man, as an Israeli, according to Ruslan KD. I'm going to need you to kind of...
You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying, right? Like, I'm saying, like, anti-Semitism is on the rise. Anti-Israel
no one trusts
sentiment.
the Jews.
No one...
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and so now...
No one trusts the Jews.
As this comes out, there seems to be Mossad is somehow connected to this, and he's just not reading the room. Like you're kind of making this worse. You're giving the Ians and the Candace Owens and all these people the ammo.
Yeah.
To see, it was them. They had it. It was Israel. It was Mossad. They had it all along. That's why Iran, World War III. Blah, blah, blah. It's just like this isn't helping.
Yeah.
This makes everyone look guiltier. You know. So anyway, you want to play the rest of this? I'm frustrated with Ben right now, and I like Ben. I think Ben is like a sensible conservative.
Either you ought to shift your opinion based on the facts that have now emerged, or you ought to acknowledge that this was never a fact-based inquiry in the first place.
Yeah. I think that's a bad take, Ben.
Bad take.
I love you to death, but I think it's a bad take. Okay.
Video's done.
All right, got more videos. Okay, what else we got? Oh, that's a good one.
Speaking of dating the wrong age.
Can you click all the ones we've already hit, please?
I already did.
No, you left Cash Patel. I'm talking about on the notes.
Oh, on the notes. Yeah, I got you.
All right, chat. Let me know where you guys are watching this from. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We got a couple more topics we got to hit.
You guys are squeezing out at least 5 more topics from us. Ghosted.
They're
Cash.
squeezing out?
Yeah, I'm saying if they hang out, we got an itinerary to go through. I owned his Jay-Z one.
We got Jay-Z.
I knew that was on here.
We got what else is there? Someone said it's not Brett Cooper. Definitely not Brett Cooper.
All right, we can do the Jay-Z one. We can do this
ICE
arrest MS-13.
Click that out. We're not going to do TSA.
Cool, thank you.
That's a good one. Leave that open. Uh-oh. What are you doing?
Hello.
Sacramento, Atlanta.
We got the police one.
I just want to. That's a good video.
We don't have to do this one.
Yeah, I don't like that one. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Are you going to ask them what they want us to hit real quick? I'm going to use the restroom.
Alrighty, folks.
Oh yeah, we got to hit that one. She's in the chat.
Yeah, we'll hit it. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you guys what you want to see next. All you have to do is open up the live chat, stop whatever you're doing, and click on the poll, and the poll will have the options. It's not up right now. Give me 2 seconds. We'll figure it out. All right, cool. Start a poll. Which topic next? Ready? We got Jay-Z refuses paternity test. We have Christians versus New Age. Sit down. And then we got Jews select red heifer. Jews finally select red heifer. Boom, start a poll. Hit the topics. All right, sorry, I was a little disconnected mentally while I was typing that out. We got Sacramento, San Marcos, down the street. Paris, France. Paris, Jamaica. Let's do the Obama and Trump convo at Carter's funeral. Yeah, it was at Carter's funeral, and I forgot to put that in the top 3. So now you gotta vote on the top 3 here. We'll definitely get to that. It's pretty short though. You got thoughts on all the Vatican II debates? That's a Ruslan question, that's for sure. Hit the nay real quick, Zach. Nah. Not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. When is your next video coming out? Oh, my personal next video? Probably a couple months. Yeah, having kids is a wild business. What did the Jews select Kathy Griffin for? I don't even know if that is a derogatory question. Yes, Dallas, Texas. You got thoughts on the Ruslan? You got thoughts on the Vatican II debates? Oh gosh. Someone said, "Oh, he said, oh gosh, I missed."
It's my favorite debate.
Oh, his favorite debate.
Which Vatican II debate? Are you talking about just do Muslims and Christians worship the same?
Well, first of all, that's the easiest question I've ever heard of my entire life.
Yeah. What is it? What specifically? Like, I think the debate is amazing.
Do all Catholics hold to the Vatican II?
You have to, bro.
Wait.
You don't get to pick and choose.
Does Trent Horn believe
Yes!
Muslims can go to heaven?
He believes that Muslims and Christians worship the same. Jimmy Akin did a whole video on it. Jimmy Akin did a whole video on it.
And he's like, we worship the same God. Do they believe they have salvation?
They believe that they can be
Or they worship
saved if it's no fault of their own. It's like a weird loophole.
So
I don't know the
saying-
language. I don't want to.
Does that include the Jews?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's because we're all Abrahamic faiths over here. They worship the same God. That's kind of the.
Kinda.
We need to do a Vatican III and have some stuff rewritten.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's been a lot of debates on it. There's been debates between Eastern Orthodox and that. There's another debate who there's been quite a few debates on it.
That's crazy.
I don't want to talk out of turn without having my sources pulled up on like what it actually says, you know?
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, it's great. Like, I think when you are,
Can you be a little Protestant as a Catholic? Like, I'm a little Protestant.
when there's a consistent dunking
Yeah.
on Protestants by both Catholics and Orthodox,
Yeah.
and then you hear how incoherent that view is.
100%.
And listen, I'll give all props to Voice of Reason, who can nuance it and articulate it in a way where we're like, oh, well, yeah, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
But like on the surface level, like it's preposterous. Like the whole premise is ridiculous.
It's pretty ridiculous.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, Catholics, you guys can claim the Muslims.
Vatican II says
That's
that
your
they
hill to
believe
climb.
in the same God, but not in the way you're putting it. See, this is what I'm saying. If I don't nail it with precision and I say it word for word, well, it's not the way you're putting it. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's like there's been a dozen debates about it in the last 2 weeks, and everybody arrives at the same spot. And by the way, this is one of those things where I kind of take the Eastern Orthodox position on that. I think they're wrong about a bunch of other stuff, but they nail it on this. Of like, no, they don't. Like, this is nonsense. You know,
no one comes to the Father except through me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, you can't just be like, oh, well, we talk to the same Father. You know, it's like you reject the Trinity and you reject Jesus. And he says, no one comes to the Father except through me. So y'all get to go make friends with the Muslims now. And I want to hear you stop complaining about daggone illegal immigration and the #1 name in the UK being Muhammad. Because that's your team.
No way Epstein and Maxwell are the only guilt ones. Someone's lying. Shout out to Thaddeus. Thank you so much for the super chat. Baxter said, if you are only happy in heaven and can't be sad, is it possible for the ones that are already with Christ to think about us that haven't passed? Do you understand that question?
No. I think what he's saying is, you can only be happy in heaven. He's saying when you think of someone that's passed away,
Mm-hmm.
it makes you a little sad.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming from the premise that people that are in heaven are thinking about us and being like a little sad that we're not together. I
think they
don't know if that's how it works.
I think the justice of God,
yeah,
and being in the presence of God will make nobody sad for the people that didn't make it to heaven.
I think you kind of get that. You get that closest to the Creator, and that is knowledge a bad word?
Mm-hmm.
Of like, oh, all things really truly do work for the glory of God.
Yes.
Like there actually is no bad thing for us being separated right now.
And I think yes, and I think you will have the view of hell that C.S. Lewis described, which is the gates of hell are locked from the inside. So I don't think you'll feel sad for people that were like, yeah, nah, I didn't want to be with your God.
You're not gonna be like, oh, they just watched one too many debates online, and
yeah, I don't think you're gonna be sad.
They couldn't get over the
shout out to
death in the Old Testament.
Shout out to Cleveland Antiquity. He had a Catholic professor crash out on him.
That's great.
He had a Catholic professor totally. Now that might be something I want to react to, because he kept saying, "This is what happens." I think I don't want to misquote him, but like, this is what happens when you fall to the doctrines of man and not to the clear teaching of Scripture.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude, like, this is a professor. This isn't like is another professor named Trent who like really lost it on him. And he was like, well, no, like this is just not in the scriptures. And the dude lost it.
But it's not scriptures alone.
Like Sam Shamoon level crash out. It was great. It was great. So anyway, I don't want to do any Catholic Protestant
boring
slop right now.
But we do have another slop video we can do real quick.
What is it?
The Orthodox report the lowest levels of happiness.
Oh, why you want to do no?
You said you want to do that.
I don't want to do that right now.
Okay, we don't do it right now. We don't do it right now.
I don't want to do the Orthodox are the most depressed Christian denomination.
Well, why are you doubling down on it right now?
I don't want to do it right now. I want to tie that into something good.
You know what you're trying to do?
I want to have that in my back pocket for when I really need it. If y'all got all the facts and you got all the truth and all truth has been passed down through the apostles, why y'all the saddest?
With great power comes great responsibility, as Uncle Ben once said.
Yeah, that wasn't Professor. That was a demon manifesting. That might be a good angle on that video.
Oh, man. Y'all are crazy. We can't be calling Catholics demons like that. But
I think he's kind of a liberal Catholic because the guy.
Oh, he definitely got a demon.
The guy who he was with was, and I might have this dude on, it's the guy who crashed out on Jordan Peterson. And he's like bisexual. And so Cleave to Antiquity said something to the extent of like, this is why your worldview is incoherent because like you're aligning with a bisexual atheist to argue that Muslims and Christians worship the same God, and the dude totally lost it. That's what it was. That's what it was. Now I want to look at it. Should we do it, chat?
Oh goodness.
Should we do it, chat?
Well, maybe we save it. We save it for another video. We save it for like a main channel video.
Well, I don't want to make it a main channel video.
No, but we can talk about what happens when you drift and you team up with the enemy. I mean, like if he's teaming up with a bisexual atheist, for sure.
But I might want to have this bisexual atheist on the channel.
Is the bisexual atheist okay?
It's the guy who crashed out on Ben Shapiro. I've been chopping it up with him. We had a conversation on the phone. Yeah.
We're not calling him demonic. We're calling his friend demonic.
We're calling it a Catholic. Everyone was like, "Yes, sir."
Oh no. Okay, let's see what the number one vote was. We have.
You put up the vote?
Yeah. Okay. By a lot, Christians versus New Age sit down.
All right. Should we do that? They want us to do that. Let's do that real quick.
Goodness.
Let's do that real quick. Okay, go to who had a good clip of it? Gospel Simplicity. I think it's Gospel Simplicity that had it. No, it wasn't Gospel Simplicity. It was
I look up Cleave to Antiquity and it would come
Cleave to Antiquity, Crash Out, something like that. Shout out to Cleave to Antiquity. Cleave to Antiquity out here doing the Lord's work, man. I'll say it.
Come on.
Yeah. Wait, no, that's not it.
Is this it?
That is it.
Crash out of the century. This is yesterday.
Yeah.
This happened yesterday. Look
Let's
at
do
his
it.
face
Let's
in
run it. Let's run
Look
it.
at his face.
Is that the middle finger? That's the middle finger. Yo.
Oh.
Should we do it? Should we run it?
Yes, 100%. Oh my god.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can find a shorter version because I don't want to go through.
Wait, the same dude melted down in a Jay Dyer debate? Is he known? Is this like his shtick?
Yes. Yeah. And yes. He crashed out on Jay Dyer too. Idol 2 has the Idol Killer has a censored version. Okay, let's do the censored version.
I don't want the censored version.
Well, Pastor Ben, do you have the exact timestamp in your video? Because your video is mad long.
It's 2 hours and 4 minutes, brother. But we can do the censored version if it's all clean.
Well, it's a minute.
8,000 subs.
Ruslan, how do you feel about Andrew Wilson? I feel like Andrew Wilson's brilliant with his debates against leftists and atheists. I feel like he doesn't always exhibit the fruit of the spirit when he's talking to other Christians.
Come on.
But I love Andrew in terms of his work within the atheist space and his idea of epistemology, his ideas around rights not being something that are just self-defining, that they're by force. I think he does really good like philosophy stuff. I think when it comes to like his debate, I thought with what's his name, AP, Apostate Prophet. I actually think Apostate Prophet did a better job because he started getting into like ushering in Antichrist by supporting Israel. It was a lot of slippery slope fallacies on his part, but generally I think he does a really good job with his debates across the board, like in a general sense. Okay, no one has a timestamp, so let's just jump into the censored version.
The censored version? It's only a minute. There's like no content there though.
Yeah, yerba mate, blackberry mint.
Let me
and
hear what he
watermelon.
says, and maybe I can look up the transcript in this video.
Okay, fine. Play it.
At the end of the day. So what happens when you worship these demons? Well, guess what? God gives you over to sexual impurity. And
Cool. I'll look up those. Worship demon, sexual impurity. Cleave to antiquity and start trimming down his stuff.
Man, Clips to Antiquity just
Cleave
got
to
a
antiquity clips.
Cleave to Antiquity just got a laptop. Give him a
Oh, that's fair.
give him a break. All right, that brother just went. He's doing a lot with a little.
Oh, that's a fact. Here we go. Wow, he crashed out on him only 34 minutes in.
All right, let's do it. Let's hit it. Let's hit it. Let's hit it. This needs to come out today or tomorrow. So you might want to tell
Tomorrow.
him.
It'll be tomorrow. This one we're about to hit. Cleave to antiquity. How many have we done so far, Chris? Okay, and we hit Ben Shapiro, Jeffrey Epstein, that can go out tomorrow, and we hit Kosh Patel and Ghosted for Purity.
4650.
Okay, cool. But I'm just saying, like, how many topics did we hit? I think we hit 1, 2,
Someone said
3.
Hold on. He said, "Whose is this?"
We hit 3 topics here. What is this?
I think this is the OG one. Hold on. Okay, hold on.
this was
Hold on. 4650. Blaine, what is the timestamp on the version you just gave me? Is it 4650?
Oh, I can search the same thing.
No. Go to my history because I got the OG version, not the reaction.
Gotcha, I didn't realize.
they not
This one? This
Yeah,
right
so
here?
yeah, pull it back.
either glorified him as
Where are we pulling back to?
He said 4650. I don't feel like 4650 is correct, but we can start there.
I see him disappear. The guy disappears. Okay, yeah. I mean, the guy disappears after 47 minutes.
Okay, cool. 4650?
Okay. Yeah, 4650. We'll just start here. Or we'll start at 46. Just start back like a minute.
No. You got to start that far back. If he's saying 4650, it's going to take a while for him to crash out.
But sometimes you want
Because he's making a point. Yeah, right there. It's 4650 is fine.
All right, let's run it.
All right, crash out alert. Crash out alert. Is this the crash out of the year? Pastor Ben from Cleave to Antiquity sat down with Danny Phil. I think that's his name. Danny is the atheist that crashed out on Jordan Peterson. JP is friends with Danny. JP set up a conversation between Danny and Dr. Trent or Professor Trent. I don't know if he's a doctor or professor or both. And that this Catholic professor guy crashes out on Cleave to Antiquity. And it's chef's kiss. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
well, guess what? God gives you over to sexual impurity. And I think we can actually see the fruits of this.
The question is, the debate is, do Muslims and Christians worship the same God or have the same God? That's the question. That's what they're debating.
And so the Catholic guy
is partnering with an atheist guy in this debate
to make the case that Muslims do worship the same God.
Have the same God, worship the same God.
Okay, this is helpful.
Type of theology on display here today, since you have teamed up with a bisexual. And I think, so what happens when you worship these demons? Well, guess what? God gives you over to sexual impurity. And I think we can actually see the fruits of this type of theology on display here today, since you have teamed up with a bisexual atheist to defend your theology.
That's a piece of shit. That's a piece of shit move, you fucking piece of shit. Fuck you.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Had your wife.
That escalated quickly. I thought that. Sorry, chat.
That's what I was saying. It happened really quick.
I thought it was going to lead up a bit more.
Nope. He was just making a point and then went boom.
Pull that point back.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Don't go full minute back.
Okay, cool.
Just a little bit back.
Right before he crashes out. Here we go.
Little more.
True God, that you can only worship God in one specific, like if you're not worshiping the true God, you're worshiping a demon. So what happens when you worship these demons? Well, guess what? God gives you over to sexual impurity. And I think we can actually see the fruits of this type of theology on display here today, since you have teamed up with a bisexual atheist to defend your theology.
That's
And
a
I
piece
see-
of
Okay,
shit.
pause.
That's a
So-
piece of shit move, you
Come on.
fucking piece of shit.
Okay. Gosh, darn it.
Okay, let's do it again.
We're not gonna do it again.
Okay, we just did.
You just messed it up. Okay. So the what is he pointing out here? Do you know what he's pointing out?
He's pointing out that the Catholic guy is teaming up with the bisexual atheist.
Bisexual atheist. Now, to be fair to Danny, Danny is married to a woman.
Okay, so he's just a heterosexual man that wants social equity points.
Dag, chill, bro. Maybe we should have Danny come on and clarify this for you. I don't know.
I don't want to let him clarify it with me because he's gonna have a way more intricate explanation. That's gonna be.
He's probably gonna be on his destiny. He's like in relationships with
open?
women, and he probably likes dudes too.
But he's married. So is it open marriage or is he just?
Listen, I didn't ask that many questions.
All right.
I didn't
All right,
realize
fair
that was his thing until after we spoke on the phone.
Gotcha.
Okay. Danny named himself bisexual atheist in the debate. Okay. Well,
cool.
so he's identifying as a bi. Why would you name yourself bisexual atheist if you're already anyway? Go ahead and play the rest of this. So again.
Hide your kids. Hide your
Look at his
wife.
reaction. Poor Danny.
He does say bisexual atheist right there.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He literally tagged it.
He tagged it. Okay.
Yeah.
He's trying to be provocative, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Go ahead.
You see the fruits of this type of theology on display here today, since you have teamed up with a bisexual atheist to defend your theology.
Shit. Piece of shit move, you fucking piece.
Hey, that was good.
Fuck you.
I missed that.
That
I'm
is
just
so
saying.
disgusting. I cannot believe that I'm sitting here and I am seeing somebody who claims to be a Christian.
Look
treat
at
another
hold on, look
human
at Pastor
being with
Vin.
such
Look at
absolute
Pastor Vin's face here.
disrespect. You should be absolutely ashamed of yourself.
Well,
Danny
you're
is a
coming
friend
here
of mine.
to
You are
to
so
defend
disgusting.
theology
That is
with
the
an
most
atheist
unchristian.
that has his entire.
Disgusting.
And now he's crashing out.
God have
And now he's crashing out.
mercy on your soul.
Well,
God have mercy
Okay,
on your
and now he's crashing.
What a
Okay.
bullshit move.
Well, we can piety signal and all of this type of
What a
stuff,
bullshit
but I think
move.
that is the fruit of your theology. Ultimately, at the end of the day.
Let's go back to your verse. The verse, I agree with Trent. That verse undermines your whole point. The people that were given over, do they know God? Yes or no, Cleve?
The people that were given over, do they give God? No, they don't worship God. Actually, it says that.
No, the question isn't about worship. I'm asking, do they know God according to this passage?
Oh, this is the dude from the Jubilee
I've
video.
said that like 5 times. This is the guy that crashed down Jordan Peterson. It's the guy that crashed down Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, but there. I mean, Jordan Peterson's been on college campuses, has been everywhere.
Okay.
Like, you didn't say like of the relevancy.
Yeah, I'm not
of it.
giving Jubilee any unnecessary clout, so they can. Never mind.
All right, the 25 atheists versus one Christian video.
Yes. All right.
Oh, sure. Do they know God? Yeah, they did not see fit to acknowledge God, but
Right
they.
now, do Muslims know God? Do Muslims know God?
Sure, but they reject him.
Okay, so they know God, but they reject him?
Absolutely.
What does that even mean? Right? Look, the point is that if they know God, then when they're talking about God, they're referring to the God
they know that Jesus Christ.
He crashed out. Oh, did he leave?
Yeah, the rest of
He
the thing.
rage quit?
Look, he's not in the rest of the video.
He rage quit. Oh, that's not just a crash out. That he rage quit.
Yeah, that was it.
Wow.
That was it.
Yeah, listen, if you can't Chat says Zach ain't listening. If you can't defend your position without jumping all the way out the window like that and then quitting, perhaps it's an indefensible position.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's an indefensible position. Someone said being bisexual doesn't mean he's having relations with other than his wife, much like a heterosexual man may still find other women attractive, but he is faithful to his wife. Listen, Leah, that's beside the point. I don't know if he is or isn't faithful. I'm just saying it's interesting that he self-identified as a bisexual atheist.
Yeah.
That was the observation.
Yeah. My observation was that if you're bisexual but you're married to a woman, you're just heterosexual.
Yeah, or the other observation is that he might be in an open relationship. Neither here nor there. That's nothing to do with what's being discussed.
Cut this out, Chris.
The fact is, he identified as such. Pastor Ben pointed out that this is the logical conclusion of a synchronistic worldview where you then, the people who are aligned with you in this debate, the point that he's making is in this debate, the guy who's defending your position, oddly enough, is an atheist bisexual man.
Yeah, the person that hates your God and hates your values.
I don't know if Danny hates your God and hates your values, but he's definitely not a Christian. And he'd probably nuance that to death as well. I don't know if I'd jump out the window and say hate your God and hate your values. I think that's a bit harsh. He's not aligned with you.
Yeah, but he probably would also take the position that he thinks religion has been a net negative for all of society. And just listening to 4 minutes or for a couple seconds of his speaking pattern, he's probably I don't like God.
She said the tag is antagonistic for sure. Yeah, Leo, then we agree that he's being antagonistic. Okay.
He tagged himself.
Yeah, he tagged himself.
Yeah. Okay.
So when I talked to him on the phone, I didn't get the vibe that he is one of those. When I talked to him on the phone, what I got from Danny was he's closer to a Jared heliocentric, than he is, or like an Alex O'Connor, than he is like the new atheist who is trying to crash out.
Fair enough.
That's what I gathered.
Fair enough.
So I don't know. And maybe we will have Danny on the pod. Let me know if you guys will find that interesting.
Yeah. It'll be like the guy who sent Jordan Peterson into a spiral. No,
Can I say that? Can I say this about Danny though?
Yeah.
Do you guys think if we had him in person, if me and him who would have had lunch, he would talk, he would use this same exact tone in a conversation in person?
Trent's gone. Well, if you were to absolutely.
What does that even mean? Right? Look, the point is that if they know God, then when they're talking about God, they're referring.
I don't think I could do 2 hours of that.
I don't think he would. Definitely not.
You think it's because this is a hostile, contentious conversation?
100%.
That's remote.
It's the same reason that you had a hard time with Alex O'Connor remotely, but in person it's like 10 times more pleasant. It's easier to connect with people.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Although he did kind of bring that same energy with Jordan Peterson in person.
He did bring that energy with Jordan Peterson. I don't know if I could do 2 hours of that.
You're about to crash out on your own podcast. You're like,
I don't know.
All right, man. All right, we're done.
I'm just being honest. Like, I think I gotta, protect my peace.
You're like, Chris, pitch his voice down. It's getting sharp in the ears.
I don't know. Push that is.
Hide your kids.
I got it.
Hide your wife.
You want me to do it?
Explicit.
Wrong button. This is Zach's favorite drop.
That is homosexual.
Wow.
Zach's favorite drop. Yeah, so maybe we'll have Danny on. I listen, when I talked to him on the phone, Danny was very pleasant. I talked to him on the phone, Danny was very, very, very pleasant. And by the way, plot twist, and maybe we could have Jonathan, maybe we could find this clip of Jonathan Peugeot. Jubilee played both sides, according to Jonathan Peugeot. They told the atheist it was 25 atheists versus Christian.
True.
They told Jordan Peterson it was Jordan Peterson versus 25 atheists. According to Jonathan Peugeot.
I believe that. I super believe that. You know why? Because when you're talking to a high profile figure, it's very disrespectful to like tell them how you're going to label them on a video. Hey, Jordan Peterson, we're going to do a video, 1 Christian versus 25 atheists. He's going to be like, well, what do you mean by, And then he's like, just tell him it's Jordan Peterson. It's easier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely think that's true. And that's crazy. Yeah. And so that's why when he pressed them, well, you're the one that came to 1 Christian versus 25 atheists. He's like, did I? He's like, I thought I just came to Jordan Peterson versus 25 atheists.
Yep. Okay, let's stop the recording. Can you close out windows we're not using, please?
Already did.
You sure?
Yep. We just got a lot to hit.
Should we hit that one next or no?
Which one? The Kanye one?
No. What's the most time sensitive right now?
The most time sensitive would probably be, I think we actually hit most of our time sensitive stuff.
It's kind of more evergreen stuff.
It's all evergreen stuff.
All right, well let's hit this Christian women versus or the Ye goes to church.
Yeah. It's a little long.
It's a little long.
And then let's hit after this, let's hit a nice little actually let's hit a quicker video.
Okay.
And come back to this in case this goes a little long.
Okay.
So that we can then tell them about the Blessed God Summit via the video we made and take a little refresher break.
Okay, so what video do you want to hit?
So let's say something shorter like this. Or no, sorry, wrong one. Like this. Boom, Third Temple Mount.
Give me 1 sec. Trying to time my my break. Gosh darn it.
Your break.
What is this?
With a timer? Like a real timer?
No. Like a real timer.
Pomodoro method?
Oh. Okay. All right, guys. We started recording. Ye goes to church. Amazing. Yeah, except it's whose church you went to.
That's true.
All right. there's been an update on the third Temple Mount. Third Temple update. If you guys haven't known, there's been an ongoing saga. Some of our friends, or my friends, my acquaintances, I went on their podcast a couple months ago. Gosh, what is the podcast called? You don't remember the podcast. It's in Dallas. They actually help facilitate.
Oh, it's when I was at.
No.
I was there. I was at that one.
You were at that one.
And I don't go to many, but I was at that one.
What was the name of that podcast? They helped with the.
I remember that. I remember.
Oh gosh, we got to find the name of the podcast. It is the church. It's like a church kind of Christian conspiracy podcast.
Yeah.
Goodness. Chat, you guys remember what this podcast is? They do a lot of like kind of conspiracy theory stuff. I did it. It's in
Christian
Dallas.
podcast. They do a lot of conspiracy theory.
I just want to give them a shout out.
They have the Dallas. They have the Dallas skyline in the back, and there's like 5 or 4 hosts, and they all sit at like a long table. Do you guys remember what this one is?
Chat.
Faith and Friction.
Faith and Friction. Okay, thank you.
There we go. Clutch.
Shout out to Yef.
Yef with the coming in clutch.
Our friends over at the Faith and Fiction podcast actually help facilitate with some of these red heifers from Texas that went over to Israel.
Hello.
And now there's an update. Now, by the way, this prophecy is that the red heifer has to be without spots. And so these red heifers seem to only exist in a specific part of Texas. So they're bringing them over, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, apparently there has been progress on it. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and play.
Qualifies as to be the first sacrifice of a rebuilt temple.
Yes, I think. Yes.
After years of waiting, a perfect red heifer has finally been selected. A perfect heifer without a single blemish.
All right.
You want to speed that up a little bit?
It's already sped up.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you talking so slow?
It's so loud. That's what it is. So they just said a red heifer.
A perfect red heifer.
Yeah. Which, what do you mean by perfect? But
without blemish.
Without blemish has been selected. That's huge because these guys have just been sitting in this little kennel for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the ceremony of the red heifer is prepared by Jewish priests.
Is that in front of the Western Wall or is that on the outside of the Temple Mount? Either way,
good question. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Or Kohanim to burn the red heifer. The ashes from this ceremony were once used to help people become spiritually clean and prepare to enter holy spaces. Israel today witnessed the long-anticipated red heifer purification ceremony, drawing huge spectators, religious pilgrims, and international media.
Pause it. Shout out to ANR News for like giving on the ground coverage of this.
Yeah. So they actually did the purification ceremony.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Pull it back a little bit.
Spaces. Israel today witnessed the long-anticipated red heifer purification ceremony, drawing huge spectators, religious pilgrims, and international media.
So it's an important step in the building of the third temple is what he's saying here.
Rabbi Azaria Ariel stated in an interview that many news outlets have reported all the red heifers as disqualified, which is not entirely accurate. A single white hair may disqualify a heifer, but we currently have 5 heifers under consideration. In 2023, 1 red heifer was disqualified. Then in 2024, 2 more were disqualified, leaving us with 2 remaining.
Okay. Wow. Again, these heifers were brought over from Texas. This connects to you don't have to fast forward that far ahead, the dispensational theological view that you help usher in the return of the Messiah, which positions the Jews as being under a different dispensational period. Mm-hmm. And by the way, we're going to have Ear to Hear ministries in on Wednesday to kind of give us a breakdown of dispensationalism, because I don't hold to dispensationalism, but he does.
He does.
He does.
So he's pro what, Jew?
And he basically said like, hey, when I describe my view based on Romans and God will save Israel, he's like, that's kind of a dispensational view. Like you sound like you're actually leaning closer to a dispensational view. So I don't think I do. Like I hold to like the new Israel is the church.
Yeah.
However, I think God has something unique to do with Israel. However, I don't think I'm jumping out the window trying to get red heifers to Israel so they can bring in their Messiah and build their temple.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, so I don't want to speed up the process of the third temple being built
Yeah.
because I don't think that necessarily guarantees Jesus coming back. I think that might usher in a false Messiah, which was Andrew Wilson's point in his debate with Apostate Prophet. Is like all this support of Israel, but Israel's trying to rebuild the Temple Mount, and they think rebuilding the temple, not the Temple Mount, they think rebuilding the temple, the third temple, will usher in their Messiah, which is not Jesus. That's a false Messiah.
So, but if the false Messiah was to come, the Antichrist, that's happening regardless, right? So it's
Well,
not.
remember,
it's not,
there's antichrists.
Yeah.
Multiple antichrists according to the scripture.
Yeah. Is there ever? So is it? It's really just like Left Behind theology that there's like one at the very, very top. So, but what I'm saying in this scenario, let's say they usher in a false Messiah and he becomes the Antichrist. That would just mean that that was the correct view.
No, because remember, in the Left Behind series, when the Messiah is ushered in, and someone will correct me on this if I'm wrong, the Jews ushering in the Messiah was also them indirectly ushering in Jesus. You see what I'm saying?
That's interesting.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't remember the movie that well.
It's
Anyway,
it's
I don't
just
hold
a
to
movie.
any of the Left Behind rapture stuff. So my eschatology is not that. If I had to choose a team to be on, I'd probably be more on a amillennial / post-millennial angle. But I think you can slice it anyway. And
I think if there's a false Messiah of an Antichrist of any sorts of the spiritual realm, it's going to happen regardless. And so there's not like a getting rid of a red heifer or stopping this from happening or making it happen faster. That's going to make it happen faster. I think it's actually just happening at the timeline that it's supposed to happen, which is what makes me go, ooh, that's crazy. It's getting spooky in here. Although the worst version of this would be it doesn't usher in anything end times related, and it's just World War III.
You're just helping the Jews. This is what I think. Regardless on who is or isn't, I think what we're supposed to do, regardless of our end times view, is actually occupy till I come. That's the whole point of this devotional that we did, 60-day devotional, taking you through the Old Testament and the New Testament. Here's the idea. Jesus said, occupy till I come. Do business with this until I come. The time, talent, and treasure we have, that's what we go over in this devotional. 60 days, 35 days in Old Testament, 25 days in New Testament, custom journal prompts for every single day. So I don't think it really matters what your eschatological views are, because whether you think Jesus is coming back next Thursday, or you think he might come back in 1,000 years, or you think it's going to be revival, or you think it's going to be really bad and the world's going to go to hell in a handbasket, regardless of what your views are, I actually think the instruction from Jesus in the parable of the 10 minas or in the parable of the talents is the same. Occupy this space and time until I come back.
Come on, somebody.
All right, let's jump back into this video. Go ahead.
Just a month ago, one of them was selected as the perfect heifer. But we've learned a valuable lesson. Even a perfect heifer can grow a white hair and become disqualified. At the same time...
I mean, okay, wait. Y'all didn't realize that? That the only difference between the red heifer with white hair and that without the white hair is age? I mean, have we not witnessed that for all of time?
That's a good point.
So the longer you put the unblemished red heifers in the thing and don't use them, the more disqualified they're going to get.
That's right.
Goodness gracious.
A previously disqualified heifer may lose that white hair, potentially making it kosher again. That's why the selection process must be handled with great care before any are chosen for sacrifice. But the hope is there, as we still have time before the sacrifice. Right now, everything has been in place. We just need government permission, and then the first cornerstone will take place.
Is that BB?
It's BB.
Wow, I got the eye for BB. Question.
So, hold on. What did she say about government? They need government permission.
Yeah, sounds like it.
In the previous video on this, we talked about everything they'd have to jump through to overthrow the status quo to get this approved.
It was a lot.
In place. We just need government permission, and then the first cornerstone will take place.
I like how they brush over that so easily. We just need like a simple yes from just a Secretary of State. Someone just high up, but like, just give me a yes, we're good.
Which is crazy considering that the Temple Mount is Muslim-controlled property. Jews aren't allowed to pray on the Temple Mount. You think you're going to build a third temple there?
Yeah, you can't even pray there.
You can't even pray there right now, dog.
You can't even step foot on there, and you want to put 10,000 pounds of equipment on there. Okay, so that's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah.
It's the purpose of Beis Hamikdash. That's what
It's okay. We're
Okay.
getting into the weeds. So
I really do believe,
Yeah.
regardless on where you fall on this stuff, the instruction is to occupy till I come.
I agree.
That's why we did the 60-day devotional. So it's like if you are really, 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 really into these signs and times and all that sort of stuff, but it's getting in the way of your faithfulness and your stewardship of the time, talent, and treasure that's in front of you, I think you're out of pocket.
Yes.
I think you're out of pocket. Okay. Let me stop the recording. Okay. Can you close that out, please?
Yep. Let's hit a little Blessed God Summit break.
Let's do one more.
I cannot do one more.
You can't do one more?
No.
Oh.
I have to use the restroom.
Oh.
And that's why I set up the short one 10 minutes ago.
Aha. Okay. All right.
So just hit a little thing. We
all
hit
right.
5 topics. They're happy.
All right. We'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere because we got more stuff. We got to talk about the Jay-Z paternity test lawsuit or court order that he just lost. We got quite a few things. All right. So don't go anywhere.
What do Wes Huff, KB from Southside Rabbi, Ninjas of Butterflies, Josh Nadeau all have in common? They're all going to be with me live at Bless God Summit 2026 here at the Seabird Resort in Oceanside, California, while we're right on the water. Now, those of you guys that attended the first Bless God Summit, the 400 of you, we heard you loud and clear. We're keeping the prices the same at a nicer resort. The lineup is going to be even more incredible. We're bringing back some of the speakers, and we're even renting out the Oceanside Amphitheater for the most incredible night of music and outreach. My man Dustin Tavella, who won America's Got Talent, is coming back, and an additional lineup of performers that are all going to be performing here at the Oceanside Amphitheater, the final night of the Bless God Summit. We heard your requests. The kids' tickets ages are going up. The resort is even nicer. We won't be sitting down as much. We'll be out networking. Some of the sessions will even be outside on the water, all with the vision of leaning into worldview, virtue, and impact. March 5th, 6th, and 7th here in Oceanside, California. Bless God Summit. Go to blessgodsummit.com and get your tickets now.
I decided to just come, not really knowing what to expect. And man, I'm so glad that I did.
You don't expect it to be so intimate. And so like the group of people that was there, I think it was great. We were able to see people who are truly seeking God. We got to see a ton of people who are special, we'll call it in the industry.
One of our major takeaways has just been how God blesses in you being faithful. A lot of Christians just want to chase after success instead of chasing faithfulness.
I think it's just been really effective how like everybody has been teaching you how they've been able to like follow Jesus and make disciples as they're going.
It's a really classy summit. I am just very impressed with the quality and the structure and just a very classy, very nice.
As much as like we can get so much from online content, there's a huge difference between being here. None of these people are egotistical. They'll shake hands with you.
I did the sponsorship back in November and just left it in God's hands and just prepared myself if he allowed it that I would be here. Here I am.
People that you're gonna meet are amazing.
You're gonna meet friends here and you're also gonna be edified.
I'm honestly amazed at the diversity and the need.
It's a super fun time, so you guys are not gonna wanna miss out.
My brand new Occupy Till I Come 60-day devotional has arrived, taking you through the entire narrative of Scripture in 60 days, 35 days in the Old Testament, 25 days in the New Testament, with custom interactive journal prompts for every single day. This is a great way to have a structured devotional, reignite your passion for the Word of God. This is something I wish I had 20 years ago, 10 years ago, when I was traveling a lot doing music, that could just take me through a general narrative of Scripture and help me be interactive and reflect on what it is that I read. That is why there's a journal built into the devotional with daily prayer request section to also document my prayers. So whether you've been walking with Jesus for a while or you're new to the faith, go to blessgod.shop right now to pick it up. All right, I'll see you over there. After the incredible success of our Bless God prayer journal, many of you guys began to ask for something that had a planner. And so we combined our Bless God prayer journal with a brand new leadership planner that jam-packs the same things from our prayer journal with a planner, goal setting, leadership meeting, and notes. With the next pages, you can see different sections right along here of this leadership planner where you can start out with actionable goals, 12 months of calendar, our original prayer journal prompts, our leadership journal with the proven problem solution framework, and of course, just free write notes. This leadership planner is based off of Matthew 25, 14 through 30, which of course is the parable of the talents. The vision of the planner is to help you make the most of your time, talent, and treasure. Head over to blessgod.shop and get yours today. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.
Look, sometimes people struggle with quiet time because you're like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, so I got this Bless God prayer journal. So look, they got a section. I got praise reports, things I'm grateful for, prayers for other people, personal prayers, memory verse, I will get this done today, then my time in the Word showed me, and notes just for free thinking. This thing's mad helpful. Just writing down things that you're grateful for, just doing that consistently, that's another really good way to fight depression and anxiety, because it's I don't know if it's impossible, but it's really difficult to experience the feelings of depression and everything and truly be genuinely grateful for something and dwelling on something that you're grateful for. This actually is really helpful for that as well.
This journal has been super helpful. Recently, a friend of mine got me this Bless God prayer journal. Lately, I've been really wanting to bring more structure to my devotional life. In the past, what I would do is just kind of like jot down my thoughts and prayers in this shabby notebook. When you open it up and look at the pages, it has praise reports at the top, prayers for other people, my personal prayers for today, a memory verse, I will get this done for today. And then on the other page, it has my time in the Word showed me, and then just another spot for notes. I've really enjoyed using it and feel like I've seen better consistency. I've enjoyed it so much that I thought I'd make a great gift for my wife, and so I got her this one in tan. And now it's just nice to talk about what we've journaled, what our devotional time is like. And so if you're interested in where you can get a copy, just check out the link in the description.
What do Wes Huff, KB from Southside Rabbi, Ninjas of Butterflies, Josh Doe all have in common? They're all going to be with me live at Bless God Summit 2026 here at the Seabird Resort in Oceanside, California, while we're right on the water. Now, those of you guys that attended the first Bless God Summit, the 400 of you, we heard you loud and clear. We're keeping the prices the same at a nicer resort. The lineup is going to be even more incredible. We're bringing back some of the speakers, and we're even renting out the Oceanside Amphitheater for the most incredible night of music and outreach. My man Dustin Tavella, who won America's Got Talent, is coming back, and an additional lineup of performers that are all going to be performing here at the Oceanside Amphitheater the final night of the Bless God Summit. We heard your requests. The kids' tickets ages are going up. The resort is even nicer. We won't be sitting down as much. We'll be out networking. Some of the sessions will even be outside on the water, all with the vision of leaning into worldview, virtue, and impact. March 5th, 6th, and 7th here in Oceanside, California. Bless God Summit. Go to blessgodsummit.com and get your tickets now.
I decided to just come, not really knowing what to expect, and man, I'm so glad that I did.
You don't expect it to be so intimate. And so like the group of people that was there, I think it was great. We were able to see people who are truly seeking God. We got to see a ton of people who are special, in, we'll call it in the industry.
One of our major takeaways has just been how God blesses in you being faithful. A lot of Christians just want to chase after success instead of chasing faithfulness.
I think it's just been really effective how everybody has been teaching you how they've been able to follow Jesus and make disciples as they're going.
It's a really classy summit. I am just very impressed with the quality and the structure, and just a very classy, very nice.
As much as we can get so much from online content, there's a huge difference between being here. None of these people are egotistical. They'll shake hands with you.
I did the sponsorship back in November and just left it in God's hands and just prepared myself if he allowed it that I would be here. Here I am.
People that you're gonna meet are amazing.
You're gonna meet friends here, and you're also gonna be edified.
I'm honestly amazed at the diversity and the need.
It's a super fun time, so you guys are not gonna want to miss out.
Ruslan.
Moving on. Mods!
Ruslan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you so much for being here. Much needed little quick break. Not sure if you guys noticed. Huh?
Oh.
What?
I have a potty break confession.
Oh, confession. Okay, what's your potty break confession?
Okay, and there's only 183 people here. Yesterday, when I left for home, I was like, I don't have to pee that bad. So I hopped on my motorcycle, started riding home, and when I was getting out towards it's like halfway between Vista and Escondido, there's just like a long stretch of like shrubs and sticks, and the motorcycle was vibrating, and I felt that, that when your bladder feels like it's going to explode. I was like, oh no, I didn't realize I had that much in me. And I pulled over, rode off into the bushes, ran into the big tumbleweeds, and just but
you got like 3 layers on.
I had to make it work. I was like, I actually can't ride my motorcycle like this. And I had to just let it rip here in beautiful San Diego County, California.
Hey, new website alert.
Oh,
I'm not sure if you guys know. I'm still not sure if that covered link is working or not, but if you go to Bless God, blessgod.co. It's a whole new Bless God website.
Hello.
That Zach just finished working on. And there's a little preview of our next collection drop. For some reason, it's not popping up. Pop-ups don't work on certain browsers.
No, I have it set to not pop up after 3 times.
Oh.
So it doesn't get super annoying.
All right.
So
well, it's all right.
It's okay.
There's a somebody asked if this is a new piece from our collection. It is. And if you go to blessgod.co, you can be one of the first to hear about it.
Should put it on here too.
Yeah. It's called a Miracles collection. Miracles We All Believe collection that's coming out really soon.
It's going to slap. You guys better be ready. If you go to blessgod.co, a pop-up window will pop up with a sneak peek of 2 of the pieces. So if you want to see a sneak peek, go to blessgod.co, and it'll prompt you to just put in your name and your email situations, and then you will be the first to know when it is available. Boom.
Yes.
There it is.
Hold on real quick. I'm checking something.
Yep. So if you go to blessgod.co and then you hit shop, right now, I know you guys are used to the blessgod.shop link. And for some reason, it's not routing as well as we'd like it to be. It's supposed to land right on the shop. But if you go to blessgod.co, you will land on this, which is our homepage. And then you can go redirect to shop. You can see t-shirts, long sleeve, outerwear, hats, beanies, devotionals, canvas wall art, or you can just hit on the shop link and kind of get our front facing page, which is the page that you guys have been most used to, with a nice little design. And you can get routed right to the Bless God Summit page here. And then if you need a contact support, we're here for you. And if you want to book Ruslan, you can book Ruslan KD. This was on a whole nother website before that was hard to find and hard to reach. So now it streamlines it. So if you are a church or you have an event that you want to book Ruslan at, that's the easiest way to start communications.
This man, dog trainer Johnny, is trying to test my gangster right now.
Oh my goodness.
Dog trainer Johnny, tell you what, buy both, and then I'll do the 45 push-ups. He doesn't think I could do 45 push-ups straight. I don't have an overhead camera to even prove that I could do them.
You could do, how many push-ups do you think you could do?
Straight?
No. Yeah, straight. Maximum.
At least 45.
Okay. If he said, can you do 60 and I'll buy,
that'd be a stretch.
I'll buy 3 Bless God Summit tickets.
The 60 would be a lot. 60 straight would be a lot.
60 straight.
That'd be a lot.
For 3 tickets to the Bless God Summit? You don't think you could?
I don't think he would do it.
Adrenaline? You don't think adrenaline? You could just.
I don't think he would do it. I don't think he'd buy 3 tickets.
You're probably right.
I could definitely do 45 though. 45 is light work. I mean, I could do 15 pull-ups straight.
That's a 15 push-up difference between 60 and 45.
Yeah, but you fatigue out. When was the last time you did 40 pull-ups, Zach? I mean, push-ups.
Okay. First of all, last time I did 40 push-ups was when I was prompted to for something really special.
Okay.
And I definitely didn't do them straight.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I'm not the one that's been claiming to training for decades. Just kidding.
What?
Decades is a little dramatic.
Yeah, someone said I could do 40% of it. I'll send you a picture of the confirmation. Better yet, I'll do 60 straight. And if you can beat me, I'll buy 2 journals a book. No. We're
2
up in the
journals
ante.
and a
You
book.
go buy a Blessed God Summit ticket.
Yeah,
That's
at
when
least.
you're getting into 60.
Yeah, 60. What do you think this is?
You gotta buy a Blessed God Summit ticket.
This is not a circus unless you're getting a Blessed God Summit ticket. Then we'll be.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Alrighty.
What else we got? Oh, so this one's time sensitive, Chris.
This will be the one. No,
everything.
This is gonna be the one that goes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
In
a perfect world, Mondays are done. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
let's go.
There's a picture of them together. Can you go to my DMs?
Yeah, I got you. Or I can just look it up.
You literally go to my Instagram DMs.
I know, but I don't want to do this.
I mean, you can look it up if you want to.
No, I'm saying I can do your
Instagram DMs.
Oh, Instagram DMs.
Yeah, I'll just keep up in the ante. No, do 90.
90 pull-ups.
Click on there.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy.
Click on there. All right. Kanye. Let me see this again.
Why is this a weird, scary photo?
Ye goes back to church.
Hello.
With Hassan and Jesse Lee Peterson.
Whoa.
Now, if you guys don't know Hassan, I'm friendly with Hassan. We follow each other on Instagram. He's actually signed to Dame Dash, who is co-founder of Rockefeller Records. Many would say is responsible for Kanye's getting discovered as a solo artist. Kanye was already a booming producer. Back then he was Kanye. Ye West. Ye. And Hassan on the left, who signed to Dame Dash, took Ye to Jesse Lee Peterson's church.
Okay.
Now, in a past life of mine, prior to being a bit more developed and enlightened, I actually was on Jesse Lee's podcast, but only the chat will know that.
I remember that.
Because we're clipping that out of the video. This is through my Yang phase. This is through my
you were wearing the Andrew Yang phase on his thing.
Yeah. Anyway.
And that was during his beta male phase.
Yeah. Now, Jesse Lee Peterson is an interesting guy. There's all kinds of stuff that's came out about him that's questionable. He's single. He pastors a church. He's never been married.
Do with that what you will.
I don't know. But Ye shows up. He's not on camera. He's off camera. He's asking him questions. And he ends up engaging. Now, I think like he thinks that being angry is like feminine. He thinks like being angry is like something only women do. He has some interesting views.
Who? Jesse Lee Peterson?
Yeah.
Pastor Jesse?
Views. But Ye is at church.
Come on, somebody.
Ye is at church. Go ahead.
Any other questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
Get a mic to the young man next to you.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anger?
Yeah, I think I'm the walking, living embodiment of anger.
I can't hear you. What'd you say?
Yes.
Speak up for me.
Yes.
What'd you say?
Yes, I do have anger.
You do. Why don't you drop your anger?
Yeah, that's what I'm learning here.
You learning what?
To drop the anger.
And so what do you, is this your first time here?
Yes.
And what's your name and how did you hear about us?
My name is Ye. I heard about you from Hassan.
Right on.
Probably
Any
too
questions
fast,
first
bro.
about anything?
You think it's too fast?
I think so.
Okay, fair enough.
So he says, how did you hear about us? My name's Ye. I heard about you, Hassan. So he's telling him to drop his anger, and Ye says he is the walking embodiment of anger.
It's dark.
It's dark, but we all know that.
Yeah.
Right?
At least he's self-aware.
At least he's self-aware.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I don't know Ye outside of DMs on Instagram. He crashed out on me.
Yeah.
So
ain't nobody praying for me.
Ain't nobody. Y'all ain't praying for me. Quick, hit me with the Kendrick line. Y'all ain't do ish, but pray for. But just pray. Y'all ain't really do ish.
You're like, scroll up.
Scroll up is my Christian therapist contact right ahead for you. So he is self-aware, and that he is the walking embodiment of anger. He's often a crash out. I spoke to someone recently that worked on the first Vultures that was brought in just to make sure that the album was Christian. This is recent. This is Ty Dolla $ign's Vultures, and Ye ended up crashing out on him, and he fell out with Ye.
Ty Dolla $ign's Christian?
No, I said this is the album with Ty Dolla $ign.
Okay,
I didn't say Ty Dolla $ign's Christian. I said this is the album with Ty Dolla $ign, And in that album, an acquaintance of mine was flown out to Japan to write on it. It sent me reference files of him writing on it. And Ye had him just around just to make sure the content was Christian, to make sure it's biblical.
How long ago was this? Isn't the Vultures
2023? This is recent. This is
wow.
post Donda. This is, so he said that from his perspective, he thinks Ye, in his mind, up until the I am God, and he was mad at his wife for not being able to see his kids. Up until recently, from his perspective, he thinks Ye thinks that he was still trying to serve God.
Oh.
And then it was the big spat with the kids and not being able to see his kids. And then God didn't answer my prayers. I can't even see my kids anymore. And around the same time, he crashes out on me. And so from Ye's paradigm, right or wrong, he thinks that he was serving the Lord. And God willing, maybe this is him coming back.
Yeah.
Maybe through a very interesting vessel of Jesse Lee Peterson, of all people.
Come on, somebody.
Go ahead.
Thing that you've heard or anything? Or working on yourself and all that?
No.
Okay.
Hold on. Pull it back. What does he say? He kind of mumbles.
He does.
Very difficult to understand what he's saying. Pull it back just to hear. What did he say about working on yourself?
Is first about anything that you've heard or anything? Or working on yourself?
What? What is he saying, chat?
I don't think it matters.
My name is Jay. I heard about you from Hassan.
Right on. Any questions first about anything that you've heard or anything?
Any questions first
about anything that you've ever heard?
Or working on yourself and all that?
Working on yourself and all
No.
that.
Okay. Why don't you drop the anger?
Oh, I'm deciding to do that after hearing this.
What would happen to you if you had no anger?
This is like a sales call structure.
I could be used by God more.
That's for sure. Do you know where your anger came from? How did you become angry?
Pause it. I mean, ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Sometimes getting to the root of the issue and understanding the other side of it can be liberating, in that most of us are dealing with the superficial realities, the surface level realities of whatever we're dealing with, but then there's deeper issues, right? So even in that, like anger, like what is anger? Well, anger is usually connected to feeling that an injustice has occurred. And Ye has a lot of that in him. From the very beginning, when he first went viral with the George Bush doesn't care about black people moment in the middle of Hurricane Katrina, there's an injustice that occurs, and therefore you feel angry. The tricky part is he now feels that there's constant injustice happening towards him, so therefore he is constantly angry. So anger is actually almost a secondary emotion of something deeper. You feel like someone sinned against you or someone sinned against someone else. Injustice, a proper penance hasn't been dealt with, and therefore the manifestation of that is anger.
Oof.
But the scriptures say, let God repay evil.
Yeah.
Right? Don't be vengeful. Like God will have the vengeance, right? So it's an interesting thing that he's pointing out, that like if you're angry, that can manifest its way. It's different ways, but even that's not the deeper issue.
Yeah.
Go
ahead. Just different events throughout my life that I felt didn't add up, where 2 + 2 didn't equal 4. And the answer to why it didn't happen was just somebody just shrugging their shoulders.
So you see what I said? That's it, right?
Yeah.
Different events in my life, 2 + 2 didn't equal 4, and because someone else, and therefore someone else sinned against me, or someone allowed sin to happen against me, and therefore I'm angry.
Yeah, 100%.
And injustice has occurred.
Yep.
The last thing you say, what?
The answer to why the simple math didn't add up or it didn't go my way is that someone just looked at me and shrugged their shoulders.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
What has Hassan told you need to forgive your mother? Your anger came from her?
This is Jesse Lee's entire thing. It always goes back to mother. You got to forget your mother.
Regardless of your actual personal story.
Yeah. Yeah. He thinks like a lot of this is rooted to mother issues.
Really?
Yeah. He asked me the same thing. It's like a random question will pop up. Like in the middle of any conversation, have you forgave your mother? Why are you angry at your mother? I'm like, I'm good with my mom. Yeah.
Why? Wait, but why mother? Why not dad?
I think he asks him that next.
Okay.
I'm not sure though. Go ahead.
Before today.
Are you serious?
Pull it back. Pull it
He
back. Pull it
didn't
back.
tell you
Pull it back. Sorry.
I wish I had like do they have a rerun button? Oh, they do. Nice.
No, I didn't hear that before today.
Are you serious?
Give me more. I want to hear that question.
Has Hassan told you need to forgive your mother? Your anger came from her?
No, I didn't hear that before today.
Are you serious? He didn't tell you that. What? No. You're never going to be free until you forgive your mother. You become just like her.
He's like, I don't want a BBL.
Chill. Clip that out. That's how she died, dog. What is wrong with you? You're sick. You're sick in the head. This is a slight possibility you can watch this.
Unbelievable. Yay. If you didn't know, I'm the resident comedian here.
That's it.
Nothing's off limits with comedy. This is what Ye's been saying.
You're as much of a comedian as Jay Dyer.
Ever since the Jews, ever since the Jews got in charge of the media, now we can't say jokes anymore.
I'm serious. Clip that out.
You become like what you hate, and the thoughts and the emotions and all that is hers. That's why God said that all who are born of the woman must be born of the Father. So you got to forgive her for what she's done to you when you were a little kid, imposed her will on you, too mothering, too dominating, turning you away from your father. You must go to her. It's when you can see that I do have this anger. I'm just like my mother. And you go to her, hey, mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. You recreated me in your image, and I can't help myself. I'm just like you. I'm sorry for resenting you, and God will forgive you. Don't ask for forgiveness. You got to admit that you're wrong for judging. Anyone that has anger.
Pause it.
What? The last one?
Yeah.
Who's Mike Scott? Now I'm dying. I don't know who Mike Scott is.
All right, clip all this out.
Clip all this out. Oh, Michael Scott? This man just said Mike Scott. Like
yeah, because he's kind of autistic. He's kind of autistic.
No, 100%. I was joking. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Favorite show. Really great show. Great character.
Bro, this is amazing. All right, clip that out.
Every show needs a Michael Scott.
Yo. Okay, this is a good take. Go back to the Jesse Lee Peterson, please. This is a great take. So VSA in the chat said, I think the anger comes from your mother. Idea is Jesse Lee believes the anger and aggression is generational because women are inherently chaotic.
That's crazy.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's wild.
Inherently?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Like inherited sin inherently. I think women could be more emotional.
Yeah, women are more emotional.
Maybe they're more predisposed to being chaotic, but I don't think women have to be chaotic, or are just like in their natural state are chaotic.
No, I don't think so. I don't think like if you're no, I don't think so. I think but
women on their cycle.
This is a Ruslan take. I love all women.
I'm just saying.
Look at as the great Montel Fish once said, I love all women. Okay,
stop.
And
stop. You're sick. You're sick of the head. Zach's getting loony. You're like Zoe after no nap, and it's 10 o'clock. She's like my 4-year-old. You know what the funny part about this is, and maybe we leave this in there, maybe we won't. I don't know. Almost every. This is not the hypergeneralization that all women are chaotic, but almost every woman that I've ever had the conversation with about the idea of cycles, and it does make women more moody and stuff, all concede that point.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, it's not a cultural fact or even a biological fact. It's the language we use on this side of the aisle.
Sure.
Oh yeah, like you heightened hormones. We avoid the words like crazy and inherently angry, as a Jesse Lee Peterson might say.
I think it's the inherently chaotic is a stretch.
Yeah. That's nuts.
It's a stretch. The women in my family who don't know Jesus are chaotic. Thank you, Celeste. There you go. There you go. That's a great way to put it.
That's a good take.
And yeah, Jesse Lee Peterson is not married, which is we opened up this topic with that. So go ahead and play some more of this.
Judges, and anyone that judge play God, and you would never know God. You know about him. You hear about him. You talk about him, but you won't know him. But you got to face your mother and forgive her. And your father for not protecting you from your mother. He didn't know how to deal with the hell in her. He loved you. He just didn't know.
Goodness gracious.
He doesn't know his mother passed. Because he's speaking about it as in present tense. You gotta go call her right now and forgive her.
Oh goodness gracious.
Oh man. What is Ye gonna say to this?
How to deal with the hell in your mother because he married his mother. Your mother became his mother, and the cycle repeats itself. So you got to forgive him for not protecting you from her. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I was digesting that from what people was talking about when they were talking earlier. I thought that was, I like this really stern black and white approach.
Yeah.
And
Of course you do.
Yeah. Of course you do.
I like that it's just so as simple as I need to forgive my mother and then my whole life will be good. Yeah, I think this is a crazy take on Jesse Lee Peterson and his.
You think?
And his in the beginning he sounded so reasonable.
He sounded reasonable.
He's like, "What do you think you've got rid of all the anger?" Yeah, and then it went like.
It'd be different if this take came up one every 10 takes.
It's
This
every
is
time.
the same prescription for every single person he talks to.
Oh, that's crazy.
You're angry. Being angry is feminine. You got your anger from your feminine mom. Your mother smothered you, and therefore you need to forgive your mom, and that's how you come to Jesus.
It's also like a very like clearly never been married, didn't raise kids with a woman because he doesn't see the value of it. This is what it sounds like. Doesn't seem like he sees the value of a mother in a life,
especially when kids are little.
Especially when kids are little.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a crazy take because I think there's a lot of studies out there on the importance of a father, mainly because there's a higher rate of fatherless homes than motherless homes. But I think if the roles were reversed and there was a massive rate of motherless homes, it would be like, you need to forgive your father for holding you back from your mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like there would still be issues in a kid's life. It's not like they just need their father.
Yeah, play a little bit more of this.
I feel that I see clarity in it.
Right on. And
Pause it now. Here's the thing. I'm not stamping Jesse Lee Peterson, and I do think this is super generalized and unhelpful. However, maybe in God's providence, this is what Ye needed to hear, but because he probably has this romanticized version of his mom, especially if your mom's passed, and to know that there were probably aspects where he didn't feel protected. He talks about finding adult magazines and all that sort of stuff
on his mom's side.
Same sex adult magazines that he found in his mom's house. And so like maybe there is a degree where like he does need to forgive her for the things that she caused that caused chaos in his life.
No, that's a fact.
I'm not speaking with certainty. I'm just hypothetically, maybe this is what he needed to hear at that moment, and this is why he's being receptive to it, even though we know a bit more about Jesse Lee Peterson. And this is kind of just generalized slop he gives everybody.
Yeah. No, I think you're totally right. And I actually think that Jesse Lee Peterson, of all the pastors out there, is probably more primed to give information to Kanye that he will actually receive.
In a way, he'll actually receive it.
Yes.
Because this whole like nuancy, Carl Lentz, approach, I don't think that's how his brain works. Like he probably needs black and white guardrails, or then he just completely goes off the rails.
Yeah, he needs the black guy that is wearing a American flag shirt while preaching on Sunday, and then also has some extreme views to like communicate it very black and white.
Yeah, go ahead, play a little
See
bit.
it a little bit. That God is allowing you to see it. I can't make you see it. No one here can make you see it. Only God allows those to see it who want to see it. He doesn't let everybody see it because most people don't want to see it. Most people love their misery. They love their thrills. They love their hell. One last quick question, then I got to move on. Who are you?
It's a good question.
He said one last quick question.
This silence is definitely.
I think of a lot of things when you ask that. I come up with a lot of different answers.
Okay, and you give me those answers, some of them.
I'm a son, I'm a father, I'm a king, I'm a student, I'm a teacher, I'm a husband, I'm a leader.
We're all waiting for the one.
Those are the things that come
Okay.
up. Yeah.
So those are the things you do, but who are you? You name me all the stuff you do.
Can I cheat off his test?
What a mess. No cheating here, buddy. You told me what you do, and you have kids, what you have, and all that other stuff, but you didn't tell me who you are. Who are you?
I don't know what answer you're looking. I don't know how to answer that.
Hey,
that's your next goal.
I'll take it. So here's the thing. Identity in the world sense is positioned as two versions in terms of what the world deems your identity as. The first, and one we're probably most familiar with, is your identity ends up being the things that you do for external validation.
Yeah.
So think of high school. Think of cliques in high school. And so like if you're the star quarterback, you're a football player. If you're the star basketball player, you're the football player. If you're a cheerleader, you're this. If you're with the ASB or the student government, you're in that circle. If you're on the prom committee, you're in that circle. It's the external attributes of what you do, which can be dangerous because say you're the star quarterback, but you blow out your ACL the first game of your senior year. You had all these D1 offers. You were going to be a star, but now, boom, that's taken from you. So now are you no longer that guy? Well, you anchored your identity on something that's external. The other side of this is your identity is completely internal. So you identify with the thing that you're passionate about. You identify with the thing that's internal. And it becomes something on the inside, right? So outside in identity, there's an inside out identity. The inside out identity is actually explored in Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now, the powerful aspects about the inside out identity, unlike I do these things, I'm a leader, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a this, I'm a that. Those are all things you do. Some of them you do for money. I make music for money. I'm a king, right? The issue with the inside out identity is it can have utility for habit formation in the sense of what's described by James Clear in Atomic Habits. This is what I mean. Your inside out identity can help you benefit when you say, hey, I want to quit smoking cigarettes. Well, we found that people who no longer identify as smokers are more likely to quit smoking cigarettes. Or people who, when you say, do you smoke? And they say no, but they might go out and cheat and have a cigarette, or they might smoke a couple cigarettes a day. The person who says no to the answer of smoking cigarettes are more likely to quit smoking cigarettes. Not identifying. And so in the book, Atomic Habits, he has this chart, and he says most people are chasing the outside results-based goals. But the reality is those results-based goals, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. But the second layer within that is your systems. Your systems will determine who you are.
Yeah.
So if you develop daily systems and daily disciplines, those will eventually get you the goals that you want. You don't want to be consumed with lust. Create daily systems that don't position you to lust. You don't want to be fat and overweight. Create daily systems of eating and training and walking and moving so that you don't get overweight. He makes the claim that the way you change your systems is you identify with something else. So I am an athlete. Therefore, I have the systems of an athlete. Therefore, I eventually get the results of an athlete. It's true to an extent. But here's the flip side is it's true, but it's subjective. It's still on the basis of, well, I feel like an athlete. I self-identify as an athlete. Now, remove all of the craziness of identifying with a different gender or identifying with all the stuff that's happening in the world, right? What if you aren't an athlete? What if you are a smoker? What do you do with that? You're trying to create these outputs. You're trying to create these better systems.
Sloppy.
Yeah, and you're like, well, I'm not an athlete right now.
Like
I'm a 40-year-old with a dad bod. I'm not an athlete.
Yeah.
Thankfully, by the grace of God, got rid of my dad bod. But you see what I'm saying? So
can't get rid of 40.
Can't get rid of 40 though.
Hello.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have outside in identities. We know those aren't good. Validation. We have inside out, which are subjective. And those can serve some utility, but they can slide you into a crazy spot because if you're not something, how do you identify with that? What if you are addicted to cigarettes?
Yeah.
Then there's something that J. Warner Wallace coined, which are top-down identities. Top-down identities is it's not what I feel like I am. It's not what the world tells me I am. It's actually who God says I am. And so I got a chapter in here, and I hate to make this like a promo for Godly Ambition, but you should really pre-order this because when you pre-order it on your choice of vendor, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, whatever you want, in the second chapter of this book, it's about identity. And we get into identity and calling, the principles of replacement. And so here is we get into putting off sin, putting on holiness, rehearse your identity, right? And so in the book, and by the way, if you pre-order this right now, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you want, take a screenshot, then go to My Godly Ambition, hit claim offer. You can get these 3 chapters, including this chapter, I go through the idea of how do you get identity? Well, you rehearse your identity based on something objective, which is the word of God and not myself, right? So I talk about being accepted, right? And this is on now. We're not talking about I feel. We say I am because of who God says I am.
Yeah.
Right? First Corinthians 15, Paul says, because of who God says I am, right? So I am accepted. I am God's child. And there's verses for all this. John 1:12. John 15:15, I am Christ's friend. Romans 5:1, I have been justified. 1 Corinthians 6:7, I am united with the Lord and I am one in spirit with him. 1 Corinthians 6:12, I have been bought with a price. I belong to God, right? 1 Corinthians 12:27, I am a member of Christ's body. Ephesians 1:1, I am a saint. I'm no longer a sinner. I am a saint. If you're in Christ Jesus, you're no longer. So stop walking around with this, oh, woe is me. I'm just this wretched sinner. Like, get rid of that Calvinism. Get rid of that Paul Washer. I'm a wicked, right? No. You are a child of God. I've been adopted as God's child. I have direct access to God, right? And then I go into I am secure. I am significant. And so that's in the second chapter. So anchoring our identity on something that is objective, it's top down, it's Jesus saying what we are. I am no longer, why am I getting in shape? Not because I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
Because I am the temple of God.
Come on,
my body is not my own.
Come on.
Therefore,
man.
if my body is not my own, I have to treat it as such. When you are given something to take care of for someone else, you tend to do a better job than if it's for yourself.
That's a fact.
Someone asks you to come over and house sit for them, and they got a really nice house. You're probably going to be more careful to clean up after yourself and take care of their house, oftentimes better than your own.
Yep.
And that's the beautiful part about
being a temple of God.
Being a temple of God. It's not your body. So of course I got to take care of my body. Of course I can't be a smoker. Of course I can't walk around unhealthy, right? So anyway, Godly Ambition, pick it up, pre-order it. It comes out September 9th, but we're giving you guys the first 3 chapters in an ambition worksheet. If you go to mygodlyambition.com, so you can get it on, you can pick it up on either Barnes & Noble, Amazon, ChristianBooks.com, and then you go to mygodlyambition.com. There's this big old button. Some of you guys are missing it. Some of you guys are saying, why don't I got the first 3 chapters? There's a big old button right here. Hit claim pre-order.
Should have made it green.
And then you get the first 3 chapters, including the intro chapter, and you and the Godly Ambition worksheet. Just put in your name, email, upload your screenshot, and you'll get the first 4 chapters. Well, the 3 chapters, the intro, and that worksheet. So anyway, I think this is so crucial because Kanye couldn't answer that.
Hello.
He couldn't answer, who am I? I'm a leader. I'm a this, I'm a that. Well, I'm a child of God. I'm the righteousness of God, right? I am a saint. I'm no longer a sinner. I'm a temple of the living God. I'm God's friend. I'm a disciple. He had no answers.
Yep. That was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
Let's keep going. What else we got?
What else we got? Well, we got the New Age, we got the Jay-Z, and we got the Obama Trump.
Let's do the New Age. That one sounds fun.
Let's do it.
Christian women versus New Age women. And this was submitted by one of our own. She is in this video.
Come on.
And submitted this to us. I'm not familiar with this channel, Dr. Daff Show, but props to them for having this conversation. There's another acquaintance of mine, friend of mine, Johanna, is in this video. And so I'm excited to check this out. Do you got the right timestamp here?
Yep, just about. I think it's a little bit further, but she said she's responding to a question on the Bible being inaccurate or unreliable. So I'm just trying to make sure that we come in with that question coming first.
Okay, let's do
I think something that's a big part of our beliefs is the union of the divine feminine and the divine masculine in both of us, to create that wholeness where we all exist. So yeah, it just makes me think of, because again, in a lot of those gospels, Peter says, whatever, and Jesus talks about how, I forget the exact words, but essentially how animals, plants, people, we all return home. We all become energy at the end of our human experience. So if quite literally Jesus Christ is saying those words, then where does the discourse come from? And that's where I think we get tied into, at the end of the day, people are just people, and they're also coming with their own baggage, their own belief systems, their own, what was the way society was acting during the time that the Bible was written, and all these things were established of I don't know what creates the divide. So it's just really interesting because I think, again, when you go back to the roots of all.
It sounds like she's getting at this idea, New Agey idea, we're one with the universe. The universe is God, therefore we are all God. We are divine, right? So that's kind of,
and we're just misinterpreting scripture and that sort of thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
All of this, and in fact, all religions, we're all talking about essentially the same thing. And one last point I'd like to mention as well is...
No, we're not. We're not talking about the same thing. All religions are basically self-help guides for you to perform to earn God's love, to become a better person so that you may get into heaven. Christianity and the message of Jesus says you're not good enough to get into heaven. You're incapable of getting to heaven. There's no good work you can do to heaven. And because of that, Jesus comes and does everything for you and then dies for atoning your sin and then rises and then you have a pathway to heaven because of what Jesus did, not because of what you did. So it's actually the total opposite. And the reason why this is significant is because when you get this revelation, when you understand that we don't work for grace, we don't work for God's mercy, we work from grace. We work from God's mercy. So no, we don't believe all the same things at all. Like it's like not even close. Like everything else is trying to make you a better person. I got to get better. I got to do better. I got to do better. Psychology, self-help, all of it. Christianity is the total opposite. It's saying because of what Jesus did, you can grow and become more like Christ.
Yeah.
But that's a byproduct of encountering God and being consecrated by the Spirit of God.
Facts.
What kind of, just opens my mind more so than makes me critically think is how can just one way of being be true? How can one religion be accurate if multiple exist? Like I think just the fact that multiple exist is kind of proof in itself, at least, that there's truth in everything as opposed to being like, this is a bad belief.
So I mean, that's a fallacy if I've ever heard one.
Yeah. It's
just because there's 25 ways you can drive from San Diego to Disneyland. You can go up to 5. You can go to Palm Springs and then drive across. You can go south and you can go north. That doesn't mean that there's not a direct shot. Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I think this is our very own Patreon member responding here.
All right.
I believe that manifestation is definitely self-power, and it centers the self again. I think it's even arrogant to say that we are God. When
I think it's arrogant
Why did she cut her off?
Yeah, seriously.
She let her cook, and then she gets cut off. That's kind of whack.
Speak for what
No,
manifestation.
you have to let me finish speaking. We just let you guys talk for a good 10 minutes.
Just want to say that we manifest and you don't.
Please let me communicate. So Melanin actually said that the universe is you and I, and that God exists within her. So it sounds like there's not a common consensus among New Agers, which is a part of the reason that we don't believe in its validity. There are
Goodness gracious.
Y'all can't even get your story together.
She's like, there's 5 of us here and 4 of you there, and you guys can't even agree.
Come on.
There are people who believe that they are God and that they're able to manifest the realities. And then there are people like you with more of a Christian background that still have that submission element. I would say that manifestation, for the most part, from people that I have heard speak, even today, it does make themselves God, and it refuses submission. And I did want to circle back to the...
She's cooking.
Goodness
and it refuses submission. She's cooking.
Straight to the point.
Come on.
She went for the jugular 11 minutes in.
The authority of scriptures. The Bible was written by, it was written over the course of 1,600 years. It has 66 books, 40 plus authors, and there are hyperlinks throughout the entire scriptures. Scholars look at the Bible and they actually consider it the first hyperlinked book because of all the different consistencies. So there's
Oh my goodness.
Come on. She's cooking.
The process called canonization that actually looks at the specific scriptures that we chose to put in the Bible because of their validity, because there were extracurricular historical sources that were actually telling the same story that's in the Bible. The Bible that we have today has 24,000 manuscripts in the original languages, Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. So when you start talking about Mary Magdalene or these extra biblical interpretations of scripture, it actually does a disservice to the scholarship that was done with the Bible.
Oh my goodness.
She's cooking. She's cooking.
Cooking.
And I actually have a copy of the original Codex Sinaiticus. It's funny you say that. So she had a West Huff moment. Go ahead.
She really did.
Actually, I'd like to speak because I haven't yet. And so I wanted to address the prayer and manifestation point. I am a Christian, a believer. I believe in the Bible. I'm a pastor. And what I love most about God is that he allows us to choose. Any attempt at control is witchcraft. And as believers,
they're all cooking.
Goodness gracious, the Lutherans showed up.
Come on.
we have to be very careful about walking in the fruit of the Spirit, walking in love, and allowing the grace for everyone to have made their own choices. I can't change y'all, and I'm not going to try to. That is something that is between you guys and what you
why
believe.
do you feel like we need to be changed?
I don't, is what I'm saying. I don't. That is not to me.
Why do we need to submit?
And that is up to you guys.
Oh, they're just having a problem with all the words.
All the
they
words.
never heard anything that involved dying to self. She's like, what do you need to change? And then another girl, why do we need to submit? It's like,
yeah, because again, this is how nonsensical this is. You're good. You're perfect.
Yeah.
You're divine feminine energy. So then from their paradigm, yeah, why do I need to change? Why do I need to change anything about me? Why? I'm a good person.
Wait, if I'm God, why would a God need to change?
I'm the universe. I'm stardust.
I'm amazing.
I'm particles. I'm a snowflake. I'm one of a kind. I am divine feminine. Well, yeah. Well, if you backdoored all these presuppositions,
I'm gonna talk to my Firefly Granny about you.
why would you need to change? Why would you need to submit? Why would you need to die to self? But the scriptures say the opposite. Jesus said, he said this in passing. So this wasn't even like this is just, he just said this casually. If you who are evil know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your heavenly Father do?
Come on.
Right? Matthew 7. This is on the back of why prayer is important, right? Matthew 7. So Jesus is just telling them that are listening, you guys are evil, but you know how to do good things.
Yeah, that's great.
So the scriptures don't start with this idea of like, you're a snowflake, you're one of a kind, you're the center of the universe. All this like American hyper individualistic approach, post-enlightenism. When you hold to these things and someone tells you, no, you're actually not a princess. I know Disney's told you your whole life you're a princess, but you're not a princess.
Yeah.
You're actually broken.
Come on.
And you need to repent. And you need to let Jesus consecrate you and conform you and chisel you into who he intended you to be. When you approach it like that, of course that's why Paul writes that the gospel is foolishness to those who are perishing. It's completely countercultural.
Yeah, that's a fact. Here's more timestamps from that video. Do you want to hit any of these ones? So we just hit this one. Did you want to hit any of these?
Overly emotional pastor shames Christians for not being more loving. No, I don't want to talk about that woman. Meditation and crystals.
Oh, you want to hit the meditation crystals? 35.
I don't know.
Probably, it's too in the weeds, I think.
Okay. When did the clock's off or is it on?
It's off by a bit, maybe 20 seconds.
Okay. Okay. So this is so like from one standpoint, the gospel is extremely offensive because it says that you're inadequate.
Yes, absolutely.
From another standpoint, it's almost too good to be true. Because if everyone's inadequate and everyone's fallen short, that means that anyone is welcome.
Yeah.
That means the worst of sinners can still be reoriented to the good news of who Jesus is, to be placed back in a right standing. We call this being born again. We call this salvation. We call this being justified by grace. You didn't do anything to earn it. You didn't perform for it. You just are. Right? And an example I spoke at my young adults a couple of weeks ago about like how the entire narrative, especially Romans, Colossians, Ephesians, the entire narrative is like, it's always been about grace.
Yes.
It's always been about grace and about mercy. And this is how I put it. When we saw the picture of Levi's 10 now, my son, my firstborn, the ultrasound picture of Levi. There was never, he hadn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
He hadn't performed. He hadn't obeyed. He did nothing.
Yeah.
But when we saw that ultrasound picture of my first child, and the feeling that you get when you see that picture of your child, and it's like it's not even a banana yet. Like it's a little,
call him a gummy bear.
Yeah, it's like a little gummy bear. You see that, and the feeling you have for someone that's not here, they haven't done anything, they haven't been obedient. Like that is the type of love that God welcomes us into because of what Jesus did.
Come on.
That there's a welcoming and an acceptance, and it has nothing to do with anything you've done.
Yeah.
To perform, to do things. Now, that doesn't mean that it doesn't matter if Levi's obedient or not.
Hello.
No. He's 10 years old.
Yeah. Get your act together.
He can be disobedient. He can disobey. He can break rules. He can do things that are not honoring of his father.
Yes.
The issue is when he does those things, he doesn't cease being my son. There's nothing he can do to kick him out of the house. Yeah. He's still my son. I still love him. And the beautiful part about him being obedient, Jesus says, if you love me, you will obey my commands, as my commands for him are actually in his best interest. And I think if more of us had this perspective in terms of our relationship with God, perhaps, see, Jesus says that my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So we talked earlier about Abba and Preach and the video with sex before marriage and how Christians are against that. Why are we against that? Because the scriptures are against that. Why are the scriptures against it? Because it's actually not in your best interest. So Jesus's yoke is easy and his burden is light, meaning this, that God's ways are actually good for you. And they're not a burden. They lift you up, and they help you in this life. They don't, weigh you down and make you a slave. No. It's the opposite. So like when my son obeys me, and I've loved him unconditionally since he was a little gummy bear, as you say. When he obeys me, it's in his best interest because his father has good gifts for him.
It's a fact.
And so I think like so many of us get stuck in this like, oh, if I do this, then God won't love me anymore. If I no. God's gonna love you. Can't do anything to make God love you anymore. Can't do anything to make God love you any less. The work side is out of grace. We then work, not for grace, but from grace. And I think if more of us had that, more of us got a hold of that, I think we'd be way less anxious of, are we believing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right church? Am I reading the right Bible translation? Am I doing my devotional? You got to do it for 45 minutes and not 15 minutes, because if you do it for 45 minutes, then you're really devoted. But if you do it 15 minutes, you're a lukewarm Christian, right? Like all these questions are go back to this backdooring of works, when the reality is it's from grace and from mercy that we do works, not for grace and from mercy. So anyway,
that's great.
That was a great conversation.
Yeah. Shout out to the Dr. Daff Show.
Yeah, shout out to Dr. Daff Show.
Looks like they had a banger. Tried a new format or continue to format.
That's their whole format. But yeah, that was good. Yeah, someone said the unfortunate part is though some emancipate themselves. That's the Wesleyan in me coming out. Yeah. Listen, this isn't none of that. Just to be clear, none of that was a point about eternal security and not eternal security. If you can anathemize your faith or not anathemize your faith, or if you can reject God's love or not reject, that's a separate point. That's a separate point. But let me just say this, and this might set some of you free, the Pentecostal preacher in me. Let me just say this to you. Levi can't accidentally emancipate himself. Do you understand what I'm saying? Even if I were to grant that my son could do something to make him no longer my son, he can't do that on accident. Do you understand? So many of you guys think that if you do something on accident, if you make a mistake, that your father's not going to love you. And that the chasm between disobedience in my household and my child emancipating himself is massive. And I think in the church too often, we think it's here. We think it's this little, if I step here and then my God's not going to love me anymore. No, there's a chasm. There's a chasm of a difference between a child disobeying their father to the detriment of them and a child willfully emancipating themselves and leaving the home. Massive difference. So stop going to that conclusion, because even if I were to concede, yes, you can anathema, you could become anathema, you could curse yourself, you could apostatize. Even if I were to concede all that, the metaphor still stands. You can't do it on accident. You can't do it willy-nilly. You can't do it because you accidentally read the wrong Bible translation, or you accidentally joined the wrong church, or is it by grace or is it not? Because you can't have it both ways. All right. What we got?
This is interesting. Someone responded to your video.
Why I'm leaving the Orthodox. Oh, it's a 36-minute video? My gosh.
They didn't drop any.
Read the description.
In this video, I respond to a recent conversation sparked by Christian influencer Ruslan KD and the Christian Avengers with honesty and clarity. I address their critiques of orthodoxy, why some walk away, what misunderstand.
Did she walk away, or is she saying this as a current Orthodox?
Let's see. I think sounds like she's Orthodox. I'm an Orthodox Christian category. Okay, I'm good. I'm good on that. Cool. And then we got Jay-Z.
Okay. How do you know you are on the right path? Isaac, that's a good question. Somebody said, how do you know you're on the right path? You know how you know you're on the right path?
Hit me.
Because you're asking the question.
Oops.
This is that age-old Calvinistic, how do I know I'm chosen? How do I know I'm elect? Non-elect people don't ask if they're elect.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The fact that you're even asking this, to me, implies that you're probably in.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Dad, how do I know I'm obeying you? Man, with disobedient, wild children that emancipate themselves because they don't love their father and their father's rules, don't ask them, how do I know I'm obeying you? Right?
Yeah, 100%.
So how do you know you're on the right path? Because you have the heart to even ask if you're on the right path.
Hello.
Right? You have the heart to even ask if you're on the right path. With the caveats and the confines that you're a follower of Jesus, you're pursuing Jesus, you're leaning into Jesus, you're going to church, you're moving closer towards Jesus.
Yeah.
But people who aren't moving closer towards Jesus usually aren't asking, am I moving closer towards Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's people that have checked out. It's people that have thrown their faith in cruise control. It's people that are they don't care.
Yeah.
Now, I think the essentials remain the same. Do you believe Jesus is Lord? Do you believe Jesus is sufficient for the forgiveness of your sins? Do you feel like he died, right, for your sins? Do you feel like he rose? Do you feel like his grace is sufficient? I think I said that one already. So I think that's how you know, is that unregenerated people don't ask those sorts of questions. You know, non-born again people don't ask those sorts of questions. And I think that's the beautiful part. Is like you can have assurance, you can have confidence that if something were to happen right now, if you've placed your faith in Jesus, by grace through faith, that you're in. You don't have to walk in anxiety, which is not of the Lord. If you worrying about these things shows a spike in anxiety, that's not of God.
Hello.
Right? That's not of God. So all these questions about the one true church and what denomination is correct and what Bible translation is correct and what devotional is correct, and did I read enough, and then I do this, and Jesus says my yoke is easy and my burden's light.
Hello.
That is abiding in the Lord is a beautiful thing that should not feel like a burden to you.
Mm-hmm.
It should be liberating. It should be freeing. And so I think so many times we ask these questions and we don't really think through the fact that you're asking those questions. To me, is an indication. Again, considering you believe the essentials of the faith. What are the essentials of the faith? Hey, let's go to some scripture.
Mm-hmm.
Take you some scripture. What are the essentials of the faith? Great question. Thought you'd never ask. So we're going to go to the very first creed. I know people love talking about councils and
Niceans, whatever, this and that.
But we're just going to go to scripture.
Hello.
We're just going to go to scripture. So we're going to talk about that.
What you're forgetting is
we're going to talk about first and foremost. So what are the essentials? What are the essentials? Okay. Then, and this is one of my favorite passages in scripture. I say that about a lot of passages, but I mean that. 1 Corinthians 5. So this is one of the earliest creeds passed down. Okay. And it says, now, brothers and sisters, I want to remind you of the gospel I preached to you, which you received and on which you have taken your stand. So Paul's reminding them of something. Some of us need to be reminded of this. Sometimes you don't need more information. You need to be reminded to apply the information you already know.
Mm.
And the gospel is not something you graduate from. The gospel is something you continue leaning into because there's a correlation, in my opinion, from remembering the gospel to walking in the gospel. By this gospel you are saved if you hold firmly to the word I preached to you. Otherwise you have believed in vain. So Paul's leaving the possibility that you could believe in vain here.
Hello.
Okay. And what's the tail sign? You hold firmly. Are you holding firmly to what? To the one true church? Are you holding firmly to a specific dogma, to specific teachings? Are you holding firmly to the gospel? So what is the gospel? From what I received, I passed on to you as of first importance, that Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures. Okay. So what's first importance? That Christ died for our sins. And then in our trusty logo software, there's a bunch of cross references. You guys can do the study. You could also get yourself a 60-day free trial of logos.
Hello.
Available right now, logos.com/Ruslan. This used to be only available for like pastors and clergy and stuff like that. Now it's $12 a month, which is phenomenal. And I use it on my app all the time. So what is first importance? That Christ died for our sins according to Scripture. Do you believe that Christ died for your sins according to Scripture? that he was buried, that he was raised on the third day, more cross-referencing, according to the scriptures, and that he appeared to Cephas and then to the 12. Okay, so first importance is Christ died for your sins according to the scripture. He was buried and he was raised. Bodily, physical resurrection. Not metaphorical, not allegorical, bodily, according to the scriptures. So it's interesting that he's calling to the witness accounts and he's also referencing them to the scriptures, right? And that he appeared to Cephas and then to the 12. After that, he appeared to more than 500 of the brothers and sisters at the same time, most of whom are still living, though some have fallen asleep. Then he appeared to James, then to all the apostles, and last of all, he appeared to me also as to one abnormally born. Paul was younger. This is later in the process, but many scholars believe that this first creed, this thing that he's citing back to them, goes back to within years of Jesus ascending to heaven. So he appeared to 500 people. In Acts 1, it says he was here for 40 days, that he was around, he was physically around, and so there's a death that happens, there's a resurrection that happens, there is an appearance that happens, and that this is all for the forgiveness of sins. Now check this out. Here's the cool part. He says, for I am the least of the apostles and do not even consider myself to be an apostle because I persecuted the church of God. We see that in Acts. Paul was there when the first martyr, his life was taken, Stephen. Paul was there. He was co-signing it, and he feels some conviction here, right? But by the grace of God, I am what I am, and his grace to me was not without effect. No, I worked harder than all of them, yet not I, but the grace of God that was with me. Whether then it is I or they, this is what we preach and this is what we believe. So it's interesting, even in this, he's drawing this tension between faith and works, right?
Mm-hmm.
But by the grace of God, I am what I am, and his grace to me was not without effect. So the grace of God should affect you. It affected Paul. I work harder than all of them, so there is works, yet not I, but the grace of God that was with me, right? So I love this. We work from grace, not for grace. I think that's ultimately what he's communicating. Whether then it is I or they, this is what we preach, and this is what you believed, right? That Christ died for your sins. Now, in Romans 10, Paul writes, if you declare with your mouth, Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For it is with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved. Okay, this is the justification aspect of faith, of salvation. You're justified. You're saved. There's a legal standing that is dealt with when we place our faith in Jesus. We are saved. We're justified, and then we get to continue walking out our faith. Right? I'll give you guys one more verse, and then we'll move on. Dear friends, you always followed my instructions. This is Paul also writing, when I was with you, and now that I am away, it is even more important. Work hard to show the results of your salvation, obeying God with deep reverence and fear. All of my high church people, all my Catholics, or Orthodox, love this verse. Work hard to show the results of your salvation. Work out your salvation for your strength. Yes, except look at the very next verse. For God is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. So work out what God has worked in. Why? Because God is working in you and giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. So my question is to you, for those of you guys that are asking, am I in? How do I know I'm saved? How do I know I'm a Christian? How do I know I'm born again? How do I know I'm elect? The question is, have you placed your faith in Jesus for the forgiveness of your sins? And are you working out what God has worked in? Why? Because God gave you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. Do you love the things of God that you used to hate? And do you hate the things of your flesh that you used to love? Meaning this, I used to love my sin, sexual immorality, pornography, all those sorts of things. I hate those things now. I don't like those aspects. I don't like the lustfulness that can rise up in my heart, right? I hate my sin. I hate the pride. I hate the ego. I hate the greed. I hate those things, right? Doesn't mean I may not still wrestle with them. And do you love the things of God? Do you love scripture? Do you love going to church? Do you love Christians? Do you love worship, right? I mean, even CCM.
Oh, God.
I used to hate CCM worship.
Lord have mercy on him.
Now I love it, right? They start singing some of the CCM songs, and I'm just like singing along.
Dear Lord, Protestants.
Even open the eyes of my heart, Lord.
Oh, he's come around.
Do you love the things you used to hate, right? That's how you know. That's how you can know. That's how you can have assurance of your faith. So anyway, I stopped recording. All right, what else we got?
We got nothing in the tank. That's what
you got to guess. I'm just revving up, baby.
You are revving up. It's rare for a 2 hours and 47 minutes into the stream. Cut away from this. Boom.
Oh, sorry.
All right. We got. So here's where I'm at personally.
Where are you at?
I'm at. That was a really good evergreen topic. I really like it.
This one?
No, the one you just hit.
Oh, okay.
Because we also, when you're out, super out, if we have some stuff with Second Channel, it's great. Cool. So we can go more evergreen. We can hit some topics and just get more evergreen stuff next week as well.
Well, do we have videos for Monday?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've already covered videos
Monday.
for
Okay, great.
Today, tomorrow, and Monday.
Just scroll through what we have real quick.
So we have Obama Biden. We have this one. And we have
Let's do this Jay-Z one. This is an interesting one. Okay. It appears that Jay-Z has lost, or what's the official language? He was not able to challenge a legal proceeding for him to take a paternity test. Okay. It has been alleged for a long time that there's a 32-year-old named Ramir Satterwhite who has been alleging that Jay-Z is his father. Now, there's an issue with this. Okay. The issue with this is the age of Ramir's mom when he was conceived. Okay. So it says, so he's 32 years old. Now, why is this important? Well, because Jay-Z was cleared in allegations around some Diddy stuff that involved a 13-year-old. But now this thing he is not able to get away from. Okay. And this is, by the way, this gentleman, Ramir, is not trying to get money out of him. There's no back child support, as 50 Cent brilliantly pointed out in his roasting of this situation. So this dude simply seems to just be after the truth.
Yeah.
If I'm being charitable, right? So he says, he alleges that he was given the runaround by the judicial system for over a decade, which, by the way, Rock Nation is known to do, is just to really high power attorneys, all kinds of crazy stuff, right? For over a decade, trying to obtain a DNA test from the former drug dealer. Jay-Z immediately clears his name from allegations that he and Diddy essayed a 13-year-old while a unnamed female celebrity watched. But Jay-Z has avoided a paternity test for 10 years, according to his alleged son, to clear his name. To clear his name from allegations that he impregnated Ramir's mother, Wanda Satterwhite, who was allegedly 16 when he was conceived. Now, this is the resemblance.
I don't know about it, you know?
You just afraid to be the white guy that thinks all black guys look the same.
First of all, I think these guys look very different from each other. So individual.
Zach's like walking on eggshells.
It's like, well, you know.
So, I mean, there's some similarities.
Yeah. There's more stuff here.
So yeah, there's the idea that Jay-Z dated Foxy Brown when she was underage. This is pretty much verified. Or at least they did music together.
Yeah.
Right? At least they did music together in that if you look up her age and you look up when their song came out, she was definitely under 18 at the time. I don't remember exactly her age. This is saying as young as 15, 16, 17.
Well, and then Aaliyah is 15. Aaliyah.
Oh gosh.
And sorry. Goodness gracious, first of all, wants me to get all these like obscure women.
Aaliyah is not obscure.
She's dead.
Everything we talk about.
Dead.
Chill.
She's gone.
Chill.
She's obscure.
But she's like an R&B legend.
She's like an R&B legend.
So these are all the pictures of, so it says Jay-Z was with this dude's mom when she was 16. She got pregnant. Now the kid says Jay-Z has been refusing to take the paternity test for over a decade because it would mean that he slept with a teen girl allegedly. It's all alleged.
Yep.
Okay. So so this is set for, by the way, someone pulled the baby pictures. That's crazy.
Jay-Z versus the kid.
That's crazy.
And then them a little bit older.
That's crazy.
I mean,
there's a picture. Someone had a picture of Jay-Z and the mom together.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. If you look up the article, I think it was on,
where it be?
Let me see. I don't think I got it. Oh, it's is this it? No, I thought you had it pulled up. Yeah, there's a picture of them together when it looked like she just was, it's like a fan, you know? Click on that Facebook post. It might be that. Yeah, and there it is. Yeah, so this is allegedly Jay-Z with this girl.
He's grabbing her butt.
Is he?
That's not a fan. That is a whole situation.
Yep.
Yep.
And so
look where he got himself.
This is the first time that it seems like Jay-Z has taken an L in one of these situations, because I mean he is just the Teflon of all of these things. And so it's scheduled for like July 18th, where he has to take this paternity test.
Whoa.
Yeah, he has to take the paternity test.
They're all gonna be like waiting outside the bathroom. We're like, pee on it, pee on it. Is that how it works?
I don't know. I
It
don't
might be
know.
like
I
a
don't
hair
know.
or a saliva.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Why did I think it was like a pregnancy test?
So why is this significant? Well, it's significant because a couple reasons. Reason number one, the closeness between Jay-Z and Diddy. A lot of stuff was being alleged against Jay-Z. Number two, Jay-Z and Rock Nation has just been rampant in the way they've been striking YouTube videos that were critical of Desiree Perez. Desiree Perez is the CEO of Jay-Z's company, Rock Nation. Desiree Perez has her own case against her own daughter right now. And she also testified against the cartels. And get this, as she got pardoned by Trump.
Oh, is she white?
She is Hispanic. So that's why Nicki Minaj crashed out on Jay-Z, because your Hispanic CEO testified against the cartels and got a pardon by Donald Trump. You are Mr. Kamala Harris, Obama guy, crazy type stuff, deep state vibes, right?
Whoa.
So
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you think there's a little bit of a racial Rodney King-esque thing if Jay-Z gets put away for being with a 16-year-old, but they just cleared the Epstein list situation?
Oh yeah, that would be wild. If
Of
that
like,
happened.
of course
I
they
don't
took
think
out
that's
the
gonna
black
happen.
guy, but not the the white king daggone ring of
I don't
PDF
know.
files.
I don't
just to
know.
walk free.
I don't know if a paternity test from when this happened is going to get this dude caught up with some underage essay.
Oh, okay. So he might just be,
especially 32 years later. I don't know the statute of limitations for a 16-year-old and a 22-year-old. 32 years later,
a court-ordered hug for his son.
It still hurts his reputation.
It does.
Here's the thing, though. Why run from this for 10 years?
Court-ordered hug?
I don't think they're going to have a relationship after this. Why run for this for 10? No, think about this for a second. Why run for this for 10 years?
So was it 10 years ago, or was it a 10-year period and then he dodged it and it went dark?
It's been 10 years. This dude Ramir has been trying to get a paternity test against Jay-Z. 10 years.
I would say this. If I was to steel man a position,
Steel man Jay's position.
I would say this is probably one of the situations in which there's the most maybe evidence, or even like a picture with his mom. He kind of looks like him. So this has gotten the most traction. But how many paternity tests are people coming for Jay-Z for? You know what I'm saying? So like in our world, we're like, oh, there's this one guy that's asking for a paternity test for 10 years. Jay-Z's world, he might be like, man, there's 30,000 people that are trying to get a paternity test from Jay-Z because they want to believe that the billionaire rock star is their dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the thing is, there are constantly these sorts of allegations hurled, and it has been said, can't verify this, that other rappers have had to take tons of paternity tests.
But what if he's like, I'm not like other rappers?
Well, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm a billionaire. All these guys go to prison after 10 years.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah,
that's
it's possible.
how I feel. I'd be like, I'm not peeing on a stick for you. I know it's not a pregnancy test.
It is possible. It is possible. It is possible.
Yeah.
That there is nothing here.
Yeah.
It is possible that this will come and go. It is possible that this is just all alleged, that the mom said that, and maybe she thought it was wrong. Maybe there was, you know what I'm saying? These sorts of, that's why the Murray Show was so popular, right?
That's a fact.
So who knows what exactly?
A whole show dedicated to the possibility of someone being a father. And imagine you're a billionaire rock star. You're like, bruh, I have so many potential kids, even outside of actual sexual relations. Just people that are like wanting to make some sort of weird connection, to be like, oh no, you left some seed on a public toilet seat. And my mom sat on that toilet seat.
My gosh. Zach, what are you doing?
And now I'm here. My mom was a maid, my mom was a maid, and she was doing housekeeping, and she accidentally sat on your sheets.
Yo, you're wilding right now.
And now I'm here, and you owe my mom.
And now I'm here.
Just
That's not how,
reaching.
you know that's
Just
not how
reaching.
That's not how babies are made.
Hey, you never know.
So yeah, anyway, it's gonna be interesting to see what comes out. My last point was that Jay-Z has also had very anti-Christian sentiments, heterodox type views with regards to Christianity, Jesus, calling himself Jehovah, so on and so forth. All right. So who knows? Who knows what's gonna come out?
Who knows?
All
But
right.
you know what I do know what's coming out?
What you know?
Our main channel video today.
Yeah, it's coming out
in 12 minutes.
In 12 minutes. So let's hit one more topic.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
Okay. I have a confession. I have a guilty pleasure of sorts.
Okay.
And it is specifically around watching videos where one of two things happens. Police officers check someone that's wilding out, and or when police officers fail for going too hard with their power and it backfires on them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get you.
It's just such a guilty pleasure. What is that? What is that? Body cam channels.
Yeah, I can have two
auditing the auditors or whatever that channel's called.
I can have two videos back to back, and one that's making me going like, yeah, go police, you're heroes,
Yes.
and then the next one I'm like, oh, we're in a police state.
We're in a police state.
Free the country from their tyranny.
Yes, yes. So this video came up. Make sure it's unmuted.
Yeah, it is.
And is it refreshed?
I think so. Let's give it a go.
Pause it. Okay. Now, I wish this wasn't revealed on the title, but this video is hilarious. Okay. This video is hilarious. We don't want to spoil it, but something really funny happens at the end of this. And yeah, this is one of those situations where the police is doing too much. This is like, praise God for body cams.
Yeah.
Praise God for A Can't Wait. I think some of the craziness of 2020 was stupid with the rioting and all that kind of stuff. However, I think it was important to bring to the public surface that these things do happen. And when they do happen, these people should be held accountable.
Yeah.
And that is not a black right thing or a white right. That's like a human thing. Like people with guns and power and authority should not be able to behave this way.
Wow.
All right, play this video.
You had... So I was pulled over for speeding and you're threatening to pepper spray me?
Pause it.
I'm sorry?
How does that escalate that quickly?
It does. I don't know. You know?
Wait until you find out how fast he was going in what zone.
Yeah.
You pulled me over for speeding and now you're threatening to pepper spray me because I'm not cooperating. You can write me a speeding ticket and then you can go on your way, but you're threatening to drag me out of my car and pepper spray me.
Pause it. I think a ticket would have sufficed.
Yep. I totally agree.
If you're speeding, shouldn't be speeding. Might be dangerous. But I think a ticket could have sufficed. Why then need him to go and put in handcuffs and all that kind of stuff? Now, understand if you're going like 150.
Yeah. And you're getting arrested anyways.
That's different.
You get out of the car.
This is not that.
Yeah.
Your car for my safety.
Why is that?
Because I don't know what's going on with you, okay?
It's always for my safety. You know?
I don't know what's going on with you though. That's like hey,
he might be high.
You're acting erratic because you're not compliant.
Yeah. Hello.
Now, I'm not one of those guys that like needs to go out of my way to be a jerk to police officers. I generally think their jobs are super hard. I try to be extremely polite, even when I see them in public.
I feel like a black man when I get pulled over. I'm put hands on the front.
Do you really?
Oh, for real.
Yeah.
I go, officer, I have my wallet in my bottom left pocket. And he's like, you can go get it. You're totally fine. I'm like, all right, I'm going to reach for it right now, officer. It's now on the dash. You can reach for my wallet there. That was my procedure.
All right. Fair enough.
So
You pulled me over for speeding.
all right. Ready?
Are you ready?
Okay.
What's your name?
Deputy Stowers.
Stowers.
This is like bad parenting.
Are you ready?
You're going to get a spanking. I'm serious.
Ready?
Are you ready? I have the spoon right here.
Deputy Stowers, it did not have to go this way for you. Now, you notice he keeps shaking?
Yeah, he's like, I don't hear the, when you got the spray can, you don't hear the little bead in there that goes up and down.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You're going to be popular for this, man. Going allegedly 60 in the 55 and you're going to
60 and a 55.
The deputy could have been like, no, you're actually going 100 in a 60. You're wilding out, right? He could have corrected him. Yeah. So this is such a minor, like give the guy the ticket. If you want to be, to me, being petty in this situation is give the guy a ticket. You really should give this guy a warning.
Yeah.
If he should have even been pulled over. To me, it's like 5 miles, 10 miles within the speed limit. You're going to speed limit.
Yeah.
Flow of traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
California's speed limit is whatever the flow of traffic is.
Low key.
Which on the freeway is usually 15 miles over the speed limit.
Kind of,
Yeah.
huh?
75.
Yeah.
As base.
Yeah.
Spray me because
It's
you're
45,
afraid
sir.
for your life?
I don't. You're not acting normal. Most people
No,
are
I'm
cooperative
frustrated
about
because you were just tailgating me.
I've never seen a more normal acting frustrated person in my life. He's like, goodness gracious. You know, he's chewing gum. He's filming all good.
That's epic.
To pull me over, I was going 50 miles an hour. You were going 60 to catch up with me. I was going 50, which isn't even illegal.
Okay.
And now you're pulling your pepper spray out.
I will say, speed has changed a couple times in this conversation.
Yeah, kind of.
But it's okay. We'll rock with him.
I think I'm gonna steel man the police officer's position that he was speeding. 5 miles over, 5 miles
Definitely
under, 10 miles. Definitely speeding.
Yeah. Okay, we'll give him definitely speeding. But check this out. This is where it gets crazy, funny, and very revealing.
No. Get off me, man. You had.
Oh man, it's out. You're so lucky.
Dude, that's the universe trying to protect both of us.
So lucky.
You're so.
You had.
He's shaking it. He's like,
so I was pulled over for.
So good.
He starts using the pepper spray like a boomer with an iPhone. He's like,
oh,
he's like using his other finger to press it.
Yeah.
That is really funny. You know what else is also revealing?
What's that?
That usually you would use pepper spray as a means to an end.
Okay.
We need to get you out of the car.
Okay.
And so I'm going to
You're not cooperating.
I need to pepper spray you to neutralize you and then pull you out of the car. But once he couldn't pepper spray him, he's like, I'm not going to pull him out of the car. So it's like you just wanted to pepper spray him.
You just wanted.
There was nothing you were like actually trying to accomplish there except for the fact that you ready? You ready? Oh, you're so lucky.
This
it's
is
like lucky.
Unnecessary escalation of force by the police officer.
Yeah.
He could have de-escalated the situation by simply giving this dude a ticket, kept it pushing. It would have been fine. I think he should have got a warning. But now, deputy's famous. You remember his name? Deputy Stowers?
Deputy Stowers.
Deputy Stowers. Let's see. What does this say in the caption? It's just
copyright.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Comments. The civilian is right.
Yeah.
Issue the ticket and be on your way. Stop trying to escalate so that you can get higher charges to meet quotas to get your promotion.
Come on, somebody.
Is that really how they get promotions?
They definitely have quotas.
Cop was offended that you weren't afraid of him. Most cops have very low self-esteem. It's why they become, I don't know about that one. The universe tried to protect both of us. Yeah, I mean, listen, obviously I'm a follower of Jesus, wasn't the universe, but it's pretty funny. Not acting normal, you mean not being superficially submission to your every word of authority. This cop single-handedly eroded hundreds of thousands of civilians' trust. Good job. It's kind of a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the comments are wild on these sorts of things. Yeah, so listen, not all police officers are this way. I think most police officers are good.
A CAG. All cops are good.
No. But I do think the ripple effects of when a cop isn't behaving correctly is a way weightier consequence. Right? It's not the same as, you know, a normal person that falls short or what was that?
There's always a bad apple, you know.
I think this is interesting. So
yeah,
anyway,
crazy.
Chat, let me know what you guys think about that.
8 can't wait. Hashtag 8 can't wait in the comments.
All right. Guys, let me know where you're watching this from. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. This has been a fun stream. Fun long stream.
3 hours. We're almost hitting J Dyer podcast numbers.
I'm hungry.
I'm very hungry too.
3 hours. This was 3 hours.
I could hit a walk.
Yeah.
A walk and some food.
3 hours. So guys, drop your location in chat. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to get out of here and we will be back. What? Okay. Well, it's starting to premiere at 4. It's 3:57. No, don't change it. We're wrapping up.
Yeah, we're don't change it right now.
All right, guys, this video is going to redirect to our main channel video for today. We got to talk about some things. Okay, and it's important that you stick around, you watch the whole video, and this video should redirect right into that. All right, we're out of here. Peace.